Man, today we got a legend, not just any legend. This brother has a long catalog, man. I don't know if what I mean, if you did a versus fam, I don't know if Mary J can go ahead and really battle with your catalog. It's so tough, man. Got so many hits. Um, but yo, the man's been producing artists such as Redman, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Nas, Mary J, Missy Elliott, Destiny's Child, Janet Jackson, DMX, Lil Kim, Christina Aguilera, Kelly Rowland, 50 Cent, Tyree. Man, it just goes on and on. But I can't leave out Def Squad's on, Eric Sermon. So, and whatever too. I can't leave out my man whatever. So, yo, we have the one and only man, Rockwilder, in the building, fam. Ain't go. All right. So yeah, we got the homie Rock in the building. So how you doing today, my brother?
Doing good, man. How's everything?
Man, it's good. It's good. You see, we got those little bugs. We have to go ahead and work out, but I'm feeling good now. So how you doing, man? What's new, man? I'm happy to see you, man. Since Corona and all this stuff was going on, I'm happy to see you doing good. And you know what I mean, you out here. You ready to get back out there on tour and do your thing?
Man, physically, I gotta get back. Quarantine had me sitting up in front of the machine a little bit. So I'm a little fat boy right now, but I gotta get it all over.
Just
But
got
it's
yeah.
been good. I've been doing remote learning with my son. Just been chilling. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
So it's
Now,
been smooth. It's been smooth. We had some unfortunate passings. During the thing. That COVID thing came. I don't know from the political standpoint what they was trying to prove, or from the medical standpoint what malpractices was done. But we fell under the knife with a few family members. But we kept it
yeah.
strong and kept it going. And my prayers go out to Shirley, my cousin who lost it during COVID. My dad, Jack Fields, who lost it during COVID, and
I'm
you
sorry to
know,
hear that.
Sally Mae from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? We lost it during COVID, and a few
Wow.
more family members that took it, but we kept it strong. God gave us the strength. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's sad to hear you lost that many people. We lost a grandmother, and some other folks, bro, that was close to us, man. It's just so many. You just be worried. I was watching you say something earlier. He was like, "Yo, just stay at home. Use those home remedies. Don't go to the hospital because when you go to the
Yeah,
hospital, it's over." And
yeah. A lot of
that's
ventilator
real.
malpractices. A lot of ventilator malpractices. I'm hearing through the grapevine that Dr. Fauci is about to face a lot of lawsuits for COVID fraud because a lot of people spend COVID on a lot of people's death certificates for malpractices on medication. So it was just like it's a lot playing into it. So it's not done as far as like the whole politics of it, but I just hope everybody that has suffered the loss, including yourself and myself. I hope we have the strength to deal with the bullshit that this wicked world, this God-forsaken world, and then what happened, under the knife of a lot of malpractice situations,
Hmm.
which took the lives of a lot of our family members, man. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying, but we keep it strong and
That's
we
real.
keep it going.
Like our grandmother was good until she went to the hospital, and
Yeah,
after that she didn't come home.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. But so you've been like around a lot of different music, people inside the music industry. I mean, growing up around different people. Your best friend, was a dancer, backup dancers for
Yeah.
Guy, and it's a lot. You chill L.A. Reid. You're around a lot of different great, talented people, man. That's why they say that New York is that pot. But do you think a lot of the people that you grew up with is that from the neighborhood or just
Yeah,
meeting relationships? What's going on?
yeah. Jerobi from the neighborhood, John, which is Tip from the neighborhood, Fight from the neighborhood, Khalid from the neighborhood,
Hmm.
Shake from the neighborhood, Organized Confusion from the neighborhood, Supreme Team from the neighborhood, Spank G, Dada Rock from the neighborhood, LL Cool J across the way, Run DMC across the way, Ja Rule across the way, Irv Gotti across the way. Everything was
LL.
Queens, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all
And
had
what wasn't Queens
LL.
was Brooklyn. What wasn't Brooklyn was the Bronx.
Right, right. So with all those different talents, like how did you find yourself in the midst of all that greatness? Because you became
Um,
great
uh,
in your own self.
um, yo, dude, my story is one of anybody's story who probably just was just successfully around the right thing, man. I was just talking about how me and Play was on the same choir. And Kid and Play we was on the same choir. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna
Well,
ask you about that. Yeah.
and we sang in the same choir at church at the same time that he was becoming Playboy uh, the Super Loving MCs and over in Corona,
And he taught you
teaching me how to draw.
taught you
Little
how
did
to
you know
draw. Like,
that.
what'd you take away from him teaching you how to draw? Like,
It was like a moment of sketching because it's an amazing artist. He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing artist, but he's also an incredible rapper
mm-hmm.
because he was he was down one of the biggest crews in Astoria called Quicksilver and the Super Loving MCs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And and Herbie Lovebug was also in that crew. So they started their journey, but I was there for that journey. You know what I'm saying? Not there physically all the time, but
Right,
I
right,
shared the
right.
moment of being in church with the whole ambiance of what was happening.
But that's like Sunday you can go to church, you gonna ready to play, and he's
Well,
still on
players in the
TV.
choir, so players coming to grand rehearsal, but at the same time at the night he was performing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then when it became really serious with Kid and Play, he it got serious. Like it got really serious.
Wow.
And
You
we
guys never.
watched it.
You guys
We
never.
watched House Party evolve, and while we were actually church members, Kid and Play evolved the album when we were church members. We had a
Okay.
gold album in the basement of our church.
Oh,
You know what I'm
that's what's
saying?
up. Is that where they was recording the joint, or no? Was that where
Nah,
they?
we wasn't
No.
recording. They were recording in Herbie Lovebug's studio.
Oh, okay.
But the Show Design Church got a gold plaque in the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? From
Wow.
Kid Play's first album. Too
That's
hype.
that's amazing. So
Yeah.
with all that, well, let's have that conversation real quick where you happen to run into Redman and play Redman your tape, and like you said, I think you said it was no pagers back then. I mean, it was pagers back then. There was no cell phones back then. It was
Nah, it
only
was no cell phones back then. So,
just the pay phones.
Red, I had already had, I knew Prince. I knew Prince Poe and Pharaoh from
Mhm.
Organized Confusion. They had just came out with this song, "Who Stole the Last Piece of Chicken," and they came out with Fudge Fudge and everything. Shape and Khalif is dancing for a guy,
Yeah.
becoming very successful. Um, Jerobi and Fife is just with a Tribe Called Quest. We sharing, and at the same time I got Shazzy in Hollis. This is all my friends. These are all my
Right.
friends. And Shazzy knew Solo. So one day my boy Brian, his family was throwing a barbecue on the block, and Shazzy invited Solo. But the day that he invited Solo, he just happened to be with Redman, and Redman just had got finished ripping up Monticello Park
Oh,
with
wow.
Bismarck.
Wow.
So after he left Monticello Park, he
Mhm.
came with Solo to my boy Brian and his family, the Andersons, barbecue, in which he brought Redman, and I was there. And Redman came, and he went after he got something to eat. He went in the truck to started playing beats. So me, Tyrone, and a few other of my friends gathered around the truck and was just listening to the beats. And he asked me, "Was I a producer?" And I said, yeah. And he asked, "Did I have some on me?" So I ran home, got my tape. I played this beat, and there was this one beat on there
Mhm.
that he just thought was so crazy. And I don't know what he saw in that beat, but he saw my whole life in that one beat.
That one beat.
And just asked me, "Where you gonna be?" He said, "Yo, I'm going to his squad tour. When I come back, um, I'm gonna put you on. We're gonna get up." But see, back then, the tour felt like it was years. Felt like it was like
Yeah.
5 years old because you
Yeah.
don't got
Because it
no
was on a
pages, you don't
bus
got no
too.
phones, no pages, no keep it up type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no pager. My pager wasn't on. I ain't had no money. So when he got back, you know, I had just came back from Zan. I gotta always represent my boy Zan the Man because if it wasn't for Mike Argyle and Zan the Man, at the time that I was actually looking to get on the beat machine, Shake had hooked me up with Mike Argyle, and Mike put me down with Zan the Man and had me in Jersey on a beat machine. But then Zan had also took me to Virginia. That's where I met Teddy Riley, and but that was all around at the same time that Red had told me he was gonna put me on. So when I came back up from Virginia with Zan, you know, Red called me, and that's when my journey with him started.
Wow. So you went ahead. So then I think you said you got a phone call. I mean, yeah, you got that phone call. Your mom was like, Redman called
I got a phone. I got a call.
How did he
the
find your phone number? How did he find your phone number?
Dude, he had my phone number from when he got my number when he got from the Beast.
He held on to it.
He held on to it. So when he called me, I had to page him. So just imagine you're getting somebody calling you. And to think about that now is weird because he didn't have to call me after all that time. He didn't have to call my house phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he called my house phone, and he asked for me. You know, and of course, I wasn't there. And my mother told me that Red had called when I got back in the house. And then now check this out. After which, you still have to page him.
Right.
So I paged him.
You got to wait by a payphone?
201-876-1818. I think that might be it. I'm going to call him and find out. 201-876-1818. And I put my number in and he called me back. And when he called me back, all you heard was just like music and you heard, yo. I said, yo, what up? He said, yo, what's up, nigga? I said, yo, what's up, man? He said, yo, you home? I said, yeah. He said, I'm coming. He came and picked me up.
He came and picked you up in a stolen car, son? I heard he came and pick you up in a stolen car.
Well, yeah, he picked me up. The first time he picked me up in a stolen car.
When he came to pick you up to go do some music?
He picked me up in a gray stolen hatchback. and he picked me up and we went to Princess Black. That nigga brought so much. We went to Princess Black on Guy Brewer. That nigga brought so much damn weed that day. Yeah. There was dime bags. That nigga brought so many damn dime bags, yo. There was tons of dime bags.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and then he took me to a show. He took me to a show that he was performing on like 21st Street. If I'm like.
What do you think made y'all bind that relationship? Like, what made you?
Yo, let me tell you something, Kurt. To this day, I do not know.
No,
I'm honest. I'm honest with you, dog. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Shout out to Redman, man.
Yo. To this day, I'm 50 years old. I still bug out off that.
That's what's up.
I still bug out off that. I bug out off the fact that you had all of these dudes in I got my Instacart. You know my Instacart, you know.
Yeah.
I don't go grocery shopping no more.
You do the Instacart shit. Yeah, my wife be doing that. She don't be going nowhere. I'm like, yo, where are all these charges coming from?
Instacart. But dude, I bug off that all the time, man. I bug off that all the time. And I'm so grateful because he had so many niggas in Jersey, and all his niggas was nice in so many ways. He had Run Dog, he had Marky, his cousin. You know, he had all these niggas, producers I know. You know, he had KG out there. He had Sid B-Tone, Sid B, you know what I'm saying, out there, like, he had a lot of dogs out there, so he could have went any type of way. He had Eric Sermon already. So he could have went any type of way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He had, like you just said, he had Eric Sermon, and Eric Sermon is a beast. You said he the funk god. Like,
let me tell you something.
He's a master
Eric
at
is
it.
probably one of the baddest. Eric, no. Let me change that.
Mm-hmm.
Eric is the sickest producer in the game on the highest level of what I consider production.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whoever got a problem with it, just gonna have a problem.
So he tops, Dr. Dre,
Yeah. Who's your top five? Who's your top five?
Dr. Dre is scary too. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. Dre is dope in what he is.
Mm-hmm.
And what Eric does, there's no touching him. There's nothing, you can't touch him. His mind is just, he's just listen to Time for Some Action. Listen to So What You're Saying. Listen to Just Like Music. Listen to, like, hitting switches. Like, his mind is just like, it's not like, come on, man. You talking about, he's the funk lord.
Yeah.
He's the funk lord. So you got the funk lord. What you need Little Man for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm this little kid with this one beat, and he saw something in me that transpired 30 years later. He saw something in me that was, right now I'm hanging up my hat. Right now I'm like, all right, 30 years. I still work, but
of course.
30 years of the hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he was the reason. Like, when I got on stage at Versus, I was able to celebrate with him and Meth a song that got my name on it.
Rockwilder.
Rockwilder. It's kind of like grand opening, grand closing. It's like the Black Album. You know what I'm saying?
But that means you coming back then. That means you coming back.
Oh no! What it just means is just that there goes that body, there goes that timeline of work.
Right.
And it's celebrated, amongst iconic people with an iconic timeline. Like, sometimes when you put niggas on, the niggas never come up like you put them on, you believe in them. But sometimes it's not that they're not as successful as you. It's just that sometimes when you put somebody on, you just put somebody on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's up to them. It's up to them to make this next steps, though.
Yeah. So the next step from them is made like Jay-Z with Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z put Kanye on.
Right.
Rockefeller, Jay-Z and Dame. But Kanye became Kanye.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like Just Blaze became Just Blaze. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but Kanye became like you would have thought at some point that Jay didn't put him on.
Right. Like he came out and like he did his own thing.
He just had his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like Major Payne, I guess I just had that one coming.
And they say, but he had the same, attitude that he was already on before he was on, that he was the shit, that he wasn't, that he never backed down from it.
And he took the Rockefeller chain and just made that shit a breastplate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I could do whatever I want. Even in my mistakes, I could do whatever I want, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing because it's Rockefeller.
Now,
you know what I'm
saying? Now I can't knock him, man. It's two great concerts that I've been to that I've always remembered, which is going to be the Hard Knock Life tour. That shout out to Uncle Ron, man, Ron Bird, that he did that joint. And the other tour was the Kanye West, when he was standing on the stage.
Yo, that's when he stood on that flat thing, right?
Yeah, like in the air. Like, I never seen anything like that. That's the second tour I seen
like that before in my life.
Other than with Red and Meth on the Hard Knock Life tour, they was on the things that came out over the stage,
Yeah.
So
when I saw Kanye do that with that thing, I said to myself, this nigga really is putting himself in kind of like this monumental type artist figure where he's using his artistry to really show you exactly that this dude he's different. And he's just, how you on a stage, how you on just this flat thing going across the stage.
Everybody and it's a mosh pit.
Everybody
no
under
chairs.
it is a mosh pit.
No chairs.
Everybody under it is in a mosh pit.
Yes.
That's an artist's dream.
Yeah.
That's an artist's dream, yo.
Definitely.
For real, that is an artist's dream.
He made it happen. And to be real, we met him backstage here in Miami. We met him backstage after he did the concert there, and that was right before Kim ended up getting robbed inside of in Paris and whatnot.
Yep, but I made Kanye smile. I don't care. I made Kanye smile. It's got the audacity. I made Kanye smile.
There she go. There she go.
How you doing? I didn't even know you was there.
Hey, what's up?
Shout out to Got the Audacity.
Yeah, I made Kanye smile. Yeah.
How you made Kanye smile for?
Here I had a shirt that had his logo on it, and I had got the audacity on the back of it. It's like how we make our shirts now with it behind backstage.
Yeah.
You can see this.
Yeah, she had got the audacity in the back.
I had his logo on the front, and so when he was walking by, DJ was like, "Hey, what's up, Ye?" And he's like, "What's up?" And then he looks over at me. I'm like, "What's up, Ye?" And he looks down at the shirt and he smiles. I was like, "Hi, made you smile." He started smiling more. So I'm like, a lot of people like, I couldn't make Kanye smile, but I made. I mean,
he was cool. He was cool. He didn't have a problem. Like. And then they were giving a little party for one of the people that worked on tour with them, one of the roadies and stuff. Yeah. That was not roadies, excuse me, but one of the people that was working with them on tour. And they had like a nice thing for it. And then from there they just went about their business, and we went about ours. But he was very, very nice. Not all the stories that I was hearing that I ran into. So I was just like, yo, the brother cool. I ain't got a problem with it.
No. Kanye is an incredible person. I do believe that I wish he would have been a little more aware of how the industry is.
Right.
As far as like, when it came down to the medication and saying it's crazy and all of this stuff and everything, sometimes, us as people, we can't go that far only because they'll like to take that thing and then make us something more than the music. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Like when I saw the court versus Billie Holiday,
mm-hmm.
and I never thought that her beef with the world was they didn't want her to sing Strange Fruit. But yet they took her heroin addiction and everything that she did and glorified that more to the point where even a person like me, I grew up thinking that Billie Holiday was just a heroin addict.
Right.
Little did I know that if they were sticking that on her because they had this other thing where they didn't want her to sing Strange Fruit.
Right.
And then took her medication from her in her deathbed, took her medication and killed her. So I just didn't want Kanye to be too political because that's what we don't know Kanye for that. We don't know Kanye. We know Kanye for the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, we don't know what happened. I'm not going to do no gossiping or none of that. It's just, as in black folks, we love Kanye. You know what I'm saying? And then, unfortunately, throughout the things that happened, we still love him. It's not like we don't love him. We still love him.
We still love Kanye. Kanye put a beat out right now and lock the world down right now. Nobody wouldn't know what to do.
That's real.
But look what he's doing now with the Sunday service.
Yeah.
That dude was on top of a mountain.
Even with DMX.
A band
even
and
with
a
the
choir
DMX
around him, dude. And he had the beat machine. Like, come on, that's something that nobody does. No producer has done that.
Audacity says she's about to look at. You see, hold on, let me flip the camera. She's like, she's about to do it. She's about to do a rock. See, she got the MPC ready right there.
Yeah, he got the MPC like, and he's sitting there with a beard on, and his children is dancing there, and he's like, and I'm like, look at his genius, like, and then the choirs around him took all of his records and flipped them,
right.
Like that's mind, like, bury me a G after that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, don't. Bury me with my hat in my coffin when I accomplished something like that. This dude was on a mountain preaching with a choir, and I mean this choir is on point.
But we can't take away from your accomplishments, my brother. Like you got some great joints.
We can't. But
you got some great joints.
You know what I do now? I'm 50 years old now, and we have social media. We have all these different types of movies talking about our black leaders and how important our black leaders was. We had Judas and the Messiah. We had, I
love the Judas and Messiah.
Holiday. We have, we have iconic figures. Puffy. We got Jay-Z becoming a billionaire. Kanye becoming a billionaire. Nas, hip hop becoming so grand. So now, as a black man, our accomplishments as a black people, when you sit back and you really look at the fact that you're actually involved in your craft and your creativity and something that you want to do, and you're able to rub shoulders with the Kanyes and the Rockwilders and whoever else that y'all are blessed to be a part of, you are a part of the move, of the vibration that's going to happen. Like, we had Soul Train to do this back in the days,
right?
But now we have podcasts, we have other things. So now us as black people, we have more of a responsibility to music. We have more responsibility to in your case, and you in her case, for the news. Like y'all are the Breakfast Club of y'all situation, the Howard Stern of y'all situation. Right. So we have more leadership roles, and it makes me feel more grateful that we have a tendency as black people to say that we're only as good as our last hit, or we can't be relevant no more because if we ain't got nothing popping off, we ain't relevant. We're the only race that does that, and I don't know why we do that.
Right.
But I feel as a black man, and watching so many black people become successful and so many great things happening amongst us black people, it's good to know that we are operating in the groove of our culture and making it grow even more. So, my accomplishments, I really take to heart and say, when I look at the plaques on the wall and I look at these things on the wall, here's a guy that, I'm not musically talented. I'm not a no keyboard dude. I'm not no drummer. I'm not a, back in the days you had to be a musician.
Right. But you make your sounds themselves sound like you are playing. And like I was saying that on the way home, on the way here to the station, I was like, yo, your sound like you are playing drums either in a church or something like that. Like when you make those like amazing sounds, those amazing drinks, the way it connects, the rhythm of it, it's just, you know what I mean? It's great. You feel me?
You gotta remember that too. It's a talent that God gave you. So at the end of the day, when you go on ahead and you're making something, that's something that He instilled in you. So either whether you were playing just like not playing the keyboard or not playing anything, you're really, that's something that He gave to you. So that's between you and God of you are a musician in your own right, and that's just what He made you to hear those sounds.
Yeah, and
put them together.
I wish I appreciate that, and I wish I was a person that read books back in the 90s, because there was a lot of things that I was doing and didn't know I was doing that the books like The Power of Now, The Four Agreements, The Seat of the Soul, The Heart of the Soul, a lot of these books that pretty much define you as an energy, in this physical experience that has the benefits of putting what you want in the universe into the universe coming back and giving it to you. And but at times you're thinking it's probably the weed or it's probably, like the thing. But I wish I would have knew from a spiritual standpoint, because I was in church, but I wasn't in church understanding the true Bible or the true Quran. Because I'm speaking for all religions. A lot of times we have to grow into what we read.
Right.
And then we have to mature into what we read. Right. So when somebody says, seek ye forth the kingdom of God and all His righteousness and all His things be added, you're thinking it's actually a kingdom because you're young. You think it's a kingdom you have to come to, but not knowing that when you seek yourself, when you seek within, and you're really understanding what's within, the knowledge of what's within is added to your conscience, and then you're able to understand exactly what's actually happening as you sojourn through this life. So I feel like as I got older, after the records, after the success, and after everything, I started to really realize what actually happened to me, and I felt even more grateful. So, like when you said, your accomplishments, I constantly am grateful for what that was, and you gotta understand, like a lot of my records, I didn't sample,
Right.
I didn't
Right,
sample.
and
I'm playing
everybody
all of
thought
this
you
stuff. You know what I'm
sampled.
saying?
Exactly.
Everybody thought you sampled it.
Yeah, and I'm playing it, but you know,
But like,
you
can I
know.
ask you a question before you finish right there, Rock?
Oh no, I'm done because I'll be
No, no,
long.
no. I want you to continue. I was wanting to ask, like, do you think the beginning of it started when you learned how to play that one song? My bad. So that when you learn how to play that one song at church by the choir director, the choir
Blaine
person.
Aiken,
Yeah. So do you
God
think
rest his soul.
is that how you really kind of learn how to create your music, the type of sounds that you make?
You know what it was with me, man? Like well now it may come from now more of a scientific type explanation, but I love progressions and
Yeah.
I love progressions. So there were songs that I played. There's songs that I consider nighttime songs, like "What You Gonna Do for Love" by Bobby Caldwell. I figure
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
play that at night, it really makes the night what it is. But if you play "Isn't She Lovely" in the daytime and you're holding your child, it has more of the progression have more of a brighter.
Wow, I didn't think about the science of it.
Thing.
The science of
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You notice that, right? So certain songs feel better at night than they do in the day.
Of
And
course.
certain
Of
songs feel
course.
better in the day than they do at night. Stevie Wonder was like always a person that played certain chords that I wanted to play over. So when my mom gave me my first keyboard, my brother was singing in the church, and this guy Blaine Aiken was playing those Stevie chords.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to want to play those chords. So he taught me one song that had kind of like the major chords in them, and I took that song and played it. But we had a transpose button on my keyboard, so I used to play that
Good old
same song
transpose.
on each note, and would feel how I wanted to feel. You know what I'm saying? So it was something happening to me with music that I needed to be a part of it, around it. I needed to play it all the time. I needed to hear it all the time because it also affected my mood and how I was as a person that day as well.
Right, right. Again, you created, legendary hits now. Nobody can, walk away from that. Is it one person that you have not had the opportunity to work with that that you haven't worked with yet? I know you wanted to work with Janet. You got that opportunity and you killed it. Anybody else yet? I mean, I wish you got a chance to work with Michael, man. That would have been amazing.
Well, the thing was with Michael was in my planet, if it was Janet,
It was Michael.
Right.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
true.
saying? So
Yeah,
I really don't, I have no
that's true.
I have no list. My list is checked off.
You good? Everything.
My list is checked off. Everything's checked off with me. Everything's checked. Like me working now is the calls that come to me when it comes, and I don't want to do no new trap music, really nothing. I don't want to do that. Buster calls, Red calls, Meth calls. We experiment. The movies come, they call, and I'm happy with that. Like I'm happy with that, but my bucket list is checked off.
Word. Do you do soundtracks too? Like, I mean, not just
Yeah,
soundtracks,
I
but
did,
sound. What's the other joints under the tracks? Like
Score. I
scores.
scored how high?
Yeah, scores. Oh, you did score
Okay.
how high?
I scored how high? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you
what's up.
scored the whole joint. Wow.
Yeah,
I know you
scored
created
How High.
some songs.
I got a song on Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed with Ruben Studdard with the Shining Star.
Word.
I did on Legally Blonde. I did Sex Machine with Ron Fair. I got songs on that I did on certain soundtracks, and then Lady Marmalade.
Dog, that's a killer, bro.
Yes.
It's nobody other than Patti LaBelle that has killed that song.
Yeah, and then I was blessed to be on stage with her at the Grammys DJing when we did it, and then she came out and did it. So it's like,
Oh,
That's
wow,
dope.
yeah, that's amazing. Is that when you first got like when you started really messing with Facebook and you started going live on Facebook and you was with Missy?
nah,
No, that's another time.
Missy. When we did Lady Marmalade, that was 2002 when we won the Grammy for Best Vocal Collaborator.
Oh no. I thought you guys did something new, like newer after that. No.
Oh
okay.
no.
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 Okay.
But
So,
I do-
but
I
it
do
was in
still support
2002. You
Missy
guys went ahead, did Lady Marmalade, and
Then we did Dirty by Christina.
wow,
Dirty
wow,
by Christina.
wow.
Then we did Get the Party Started with Pink with Redman. Then we did around that time everything was happening at the same time. It was like, I was in the zone, like, you know what I'm saying? So everything was at the same time. And then after that, I started touring with Missy, and I've been her DJ since 2004. So now I still DJ for her.
Now,
Man,
who
that's dope.
you've yeah, that's amazing. But you've created with a lot of different producers. Like, who's one of the greatest producers you think you may have created with?
We did Do You Think About Me with Chris and T. Flip, my little brother, I did a lot of joints with him, and Eric Sherman and Redman. Redman was producing early at the time when we was running.
Word.
DJ Twins. We did Left Eye Hot on her album Supernova.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
okay.
performed our beat on her verse of Waterfalls on the music awards.
Word.
Right.
Dude,
Yeah.
man. And that was before she passed away.
Yeah, that's before she passed away. And then Twins were, they went into doing My Mind Right by Memphis Bleak. They did joints for 50 Cent. Like they really did their thing too after that.
So that was a question I was going to ask. Like, when you were growing up, you were around all these people, and then you said, like, you were like with Eric Sermon. You was like, wow, he gave me this opportunity. What producers have you gave that opportunity to and have been very proud of? And
Oh man, like Twins.
Past that the Twins.
DJ Twins. And the crazy thing about it is that I don't think I gave them the opportunity. I just felt like we were all just in the mix. We were just
In
all
the same area.
around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, like even like we were all around each other. Like I remember being at Newkirk's house like every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
With so many people. Chris Rock, like he was doing stuff, but then Organized Confusion was doing what they was doing. Then Redman had me around Eric, and then Twins was the DJs for Eric. I mean for Redman, so we got acquainted to do what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Little Flip came along, Chris and T came along. Just as producers, just already having something happen.
Right.
Right.
Like so it's just that once we got together, it just became beautiful because Poppin' Oak, which is one of the most amazing guys right now in the game, they're like Ariana Grande, they're like Dr. Luke, like all of that. They doing that, all that stuff right now, like, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick Lamar, everything. And they already, when I knew them and got cool with them, they were just one step away from their success.
Really?
Yeah, everybody who I got around, it wasn't like I had to put them on because they was always one step away from their success. If anything, I just told them, yo, chill,
open that door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, just chill because it's coming. Just
Okay.
telling them, yo, chill because I'm telling you, just be patient. You know what I'm saying? Because I came from that type of environment. I think Red allowed me to do that. I never had a you put me on transaction with any of my peoples.
Word.
With Redman, with Prince and Monch and everybody. I never had a you put me on thing. Everybody was just like, it was love.
Right.
It was just love. You go to this person's house. I used to go to Prince's house and eat food, and he would cook for me while
he make you pancakes.
Was doing the stress.
Did he make you pancakes?
She's thinking Prince. She's thinking
No, I know I'm Prince, right? But no, Prince Poe was doing the stress.
Prince
album.
Poe.
Oh, Prince Poe.
He was doing the stress album.
Wow.
Gotcha.
But I don't remember. I know I did one track on that album called Maintain, and let me tell you, I wasn't trying to be on that album because I was already affiliated in a whole different way of just being a nigga at his crib, chilling with him, eating with him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm sitting there bopping my head more than I'm trying to be on the album. I'm sitting there like, damn, that shit's hot. That shit's hot. That shit's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even with a lot of the other producers that I knew, like when Chris and T came and I got cool with them, they had already had a manager by the name of Virgil, and they was about to jump on the Danity Kane boat.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then when Flip came along, Flip is like one of the hottest producers. He's on the Her album. Like he just did shit on the Her album just now. This little kid with dreads, like just in the right place at the right time, and just the next thing you know, he just said, and I was down with him. And then you had Freak when we had when Big John had his joint when Big John the twins actually formed a company. You know, we have Julian from the Bahamas. We made a song, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was already like an artist in the Bahamas about to blow.
Is that how that Bahama Cruise thing popped off?
Yeah, and we did Caribbean Slide. And we did a song called Caribbean Slide. And that song is like the theme song of the Bahamas now. Move to the left, move to the right now. Move to the left, move to the right. Like, you know, I was always a part of something that was already happening.
Wow. Like you just were. It's like it's a lot of things that's happening around you, you know, and it's just about you going ahead, I guess, taking the steps to either put yourself in it, you know, or just be a part of it, you know. Yeah. And it's a lot of people that just want to be a part of something, you know, and that will be, you know, willing to support you and willing to go ahead and help you.
Like because Redman never put me on paper.
A word?
We never signed a contract. Me and Red never signed a contract.
Oh, that's amazing. And no beef about nothing, no money, none of that.
Man, yeah, I just had to understand him.
He put my name on the line with him. He always took me where he needed to take me. He never owned me. It was never I did this for you. He was always like, little brother, hang with me, be a part of the process, keep it humble, don't feel yourself and just watch it's gonna happen for you. Like it was always that. Eric Sermon never put me on paper. Nobody ever put me on paper.
That's
so
what's up.
When it came down to people coming to be with me, they begged me, yo, sign me. I said, yo, I would never want to sign you. And they'd be like, why? I said, because your destiny ain't a piece of my paper. Your destiny don't lie on my paper with you, because I'm just gonna share a great moment with you. But that's not a moment that I need to sign your life to me about.
Right.
I need that moment needs to be, let me be a part of the moment. If I do something with you, we'll take care of what we have to take care of. But if you know, I remember when Chris and T came to me and they got on the Danity Kane project, just off the fact that they was down with me, they was gonna be like, yo, here's something. I said, nah, dude, you hold it. This is where your life takes off now.
Right.
Because if I didn't do nothing on that track, I don't need nothing from that track. Yeah. I wouldn't dare go to your plate and look at your kid's shrimp and just start taking shrimp.
Right. A lot of people will.
Yeah.
A lot of people will.
Yeah, but there's a lot that would.
Yeah, because that means that if I could do that to you, then I could do that to your children. So if I'm gonna go on your plate and start stealing rice out of it, no matter whose plate it is, your child gets affected by the scoop I take off it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do that. You hold that. That's what God did for you, and you do that. And even with Flip, I was just like, yo, Flip. Right. Nah, that's you, nigga. That's you, man. This is your life starting. Like, how I'm gonna do my life? God's gonna bless me with my life, and then I'm gonna jump in your life and start trying to be a part of your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, always kept me in good rapport with my colleagues, because they were just like, you know, wow, rock on, you know, because they've left me and unfortunately went in situations where somebody tried to do it or did succeed in that. And, you know, and it affected them when they did that, because they didn't come from that. They were just like, wow, Rock didn't, Big Brother Rock didn't do that to us. So how you know what I'm saying? You know?
No, I feel you. I feel you 100%.
But, when was that moment that you felt like you made it, and how did you celebrate?
To tell you the truth, the made it part just came probably in these years right now.
Oh, okay.
Like, probably like these years. It wasn't back when I did it.
Got it.
When I swear to God, I was high through the whole thing. I ain't
You ain't notice it.
because you know what? And I say this. I'm happy that you asked me this. Play, Shake, Khalid, Organized Confusion. They had already had careers, so I had already seen the high notes. I already seen that. So
Got it.
so when you're around it, you never get a chance to say that you've made it because you're so busy celebrating what they did that when you finally made it, it doesn't feel like you made it to you. It feels like just something that you just can't. You got one.
Right.
You
So
know,
you
you're
didn't
like,
you
oh,
didn't
just like
notice
now.
it right away. It just kind of snuck up on you, just like and it
Yeah,
was coming like, hey,
because
like wait a second,
yeah,
from me doing all of these projects, this is what this is my life's work. So you
yeah.
okay.
Like my daughter, like if you look at my joint, like I'm still like no matter where I'm at, I'm still like that. And my daughter had to like come and say, "Dad, stop."
I saw when you were
I'm like,
putting Enoch. You were putting Enoch up on the drums. You were putting him up
yeah,
on the
you know what I'm
drums.
saying?
I was following that. I saw you was putting up. I'm gonna have to battle him. Yeah, I'm gonna have to battle him. Enoch still got it.
But you know what? He's not doing
He
music.
not.
Though.
He's
He's
not.
doing like
Oh,
no
okay.
that artwork. I don't know, babe. He gonna spank me on that artwork.
He gonna
But
spank me on the
like,
artwork.
but
I got some drawing.
yeah, he
I got
don't
some
know his
drawing in
artwork. But I don't know. I don't know. The only reason why I could say I made it now is because I can look at the wall and I could look at the accomplishments from things that I never thought I would have experienced. Like Lady Marmalade was an experience. Like I never thought I would have had that experience at this age. I would have actually seen that song do what it do. Like
Right.
it's such a great classic moment now.
Right.
I watch it now and I celebrate watching it. Like Dirty by Christina.
Yeah.
I didn't know that a song that I did back at a time that she was breaking out of herself and changing her clothes and changing her identity. I didn't actually know what that was doing for pop music at that time. I didn't know.
Right.
So when Dirty was the Dirty and Slave by Christina, but Dirty for Slave by Britney, but Dirty by Christina, when I saw those records represent these girls breaking out of a thing, and then social media years later making it like a image to lip sync, an image to imitate, an idea to break out of, a move that she did that, the kid just started doing. I didn't know that these records would become that. I didn't know that How High the movie would have became the classic movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the Rockwilder being that it was named after me. Back when that song was named after me years ago, I didn't think of it was named after me, and I didn't think of how hot it was, and I didn't think of what it was making me.
Did you name the beat, or did Red or Meth?
Meth named the beat.
Meth made it. Oh, okay.
So now, years later, Rockwilder, the name of the song, which is actually your name, is not actually a keyword search. Like,
right.
It's represented for a song, but it's also represented as a keyword search. So your name is a keyword search now. I didn't know these things were going to happen. So making it is what I'm appreciating now, watching what these songs have done. Oh No by Pharoah Monch and Mos Def was my first hip hop #1 single.
Right.
My first and only hip hop #1 single. Janet Jackson, All For You, that album was a part of her career where it made a lot. They said that All For You was one of the best albums of her career.
Got it.
Listen, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. That's amazing
yeah, so
that you had the opportunity to witness that and create from that and just build, bro. Like people, you dream about it. So like, did you put yourself in those? Did you have dreams about things like that? Put yourself in that place? It's like, yo, I'm gonna work with Michael Jackson or Janet.
Check this out.
Go ahead.
When my brother used to live, back in the days, when at a certain age, everybody comes back to your mother's house and live in the house. Mm-hmm. So upstairs it was me and my brother was downstairs. We all grown men, but for some reason, all of us had a little moment where we all had to come back to Mama's house.
Yeah.
So my brother stayed downstairs on the second floor, and he had Janet pictures all around. So I would every morning I would go downstairs and laugh with my brother for like 2 hours while I was upstairs doing beats. I'd come downstairs and laugh with my brother all the time. So I looked at one of the pictures and I said, you know what? I said, it'll be crazy if I do joints on her album. And I said, and then I take you to a show and she's performing our music. He said, yeah, that would be crazy, right? Yo, I went upstairs and did 5 songs as if I was working with Janet Jackson.
Well, was this while you were Rockwilder?
While I was Rockwilder.
Oh, after Redman and everything.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
I went upstairs and did 5 songs just to bug us out in the house. I said, yo, listen to this joint. It had this Janet Jackson feel to it, boom, boom, and everything. So I just put them away, just said, yo, those are Janet Jackson tracks. So if I ever work with her, boom. So then Rockwilder had just came out, and then my manager called me. I was on the Clearview Expressway, and he said, yo, you driving? I said, yeah. He said, pull over, because this is the craziest shit ever. So I pull over, and he said, yo, somebody called me and said, I don't know you, you don't know me, but my name is Lindsay. I'm Janet Jackson's manager, and she told me to find Rockwilder.
Oh, wow.
She heard the Rockwilder and loved it so much that she flew me out. And by the time All For You came out, I had my brother at the show and his 2 friends, and she was coming down to my song, Come On, Get Up. And I said, didn't I tell you? You got
the opportunity to do it back.
His friend was just like fucked up because he was like, he said that this was going to happen. He said it. He said it, yo. He said it. And I remember when I asked my manager at that time, James Ellis, I said, yo, man, we need a label. He said, when a Grammy, we get a label. At the same time he said that, I walked in the room with Missy, and Missy was like, yo, I need you to help me with this joint. I said, what are you talking about? She said, Lady Marmalade.
Wow.
I said, Lady Marmalade? I said, yeah. I said, would you put me in the studio with every keyboard that I want to work on? She said, I'll put you in the studio with anything you need to. Just, I need it done. I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna win a Grammy with this record.
Oh,
word.
By the time we did that, not only did I perform on stage and work and perform the song with them, but while I was going upstairs to change my outfit, they were the first nomination of that night, and they won. Best vocal collabo for the Grammy.
Man.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
You got so many hits, bro. I'm trying to keep up with you, with the songs. I'm trying to put the songs underneath, bro. You got so many hits. I can't keep
front to
up.
back by exhibit, where I was in the back of the car with 80 lowriders down Sunset Boulevard. The only New York producer driving down Sunset Boulevard with 80 lowriders jumping like this behind him, and it's front to back one of the illest lowrider songs of LA.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull that up. You're gonna have to pull it up. For real.
I'm in the back of a lowrider like this. I turned around every time they stopped. I turned around and looked at the lowriders and said, yo, I'm a New York producer on Sunset Boulevard with a record with lowriders in it. And I sampled lowriders.
And a sample. That's awesome.
Moments, just great moments. I can't make this up. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, real talk. We had Michael Sterling in the studio on Wednesday, and it was just like, bro, I didn't know the Nice and Slow, like all the stuff he did, like from with Little John, like all the people that sample his music.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I didn't even know. Like, I know some songs, but all right, check this out. When you just said, like, real talk, when we were just having a conversation a second ago, you said Bobby Caldwell. So Bobby Caldwell, original producer, was Chocolate Perry Johnson.
What's his name?
Chocolate Perry Johnson.
It's
George.
George.
I'm sorry, George.
George Chocolate Perry.
Yeah, and he was my first engineer here in South Florida.
He was with Band
Are you
America.
serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
He was on tour with the Bee Gees.
He was the tour with the Bee Gees. He was in the studio with Michael Jackson and stuff, creating with the Bee Gees, and he came from that era. He started like he was like 17, and I'm gonna bring him to the studio. Like I was just like just thinking about it when you said it. It's like, bro, like the people and some people you're put around, and you put around because God wants you around these people. He's trying to have these people teach you things, and
Now check
and
this
grow
out.
from there.
Now check this out. Now this is how my life works.
Okay.
Do you know how long I've been trying to find out who the producer of What You Gonna Do for Love was?
Really?
For real?
You know how long I've been trying to find out who the producer of What You Gonna Do for Love
The
is?
things we do for love, right?
Hey.
The things we do for
Oh,
love.
What You Won't Do for Love.
What you won't do? Is that it?
What you want to do for love?
Oh yeah, you
What
right.
you want to
Oh
do for love?
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. It's Tupac redoing. Tupac redid that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get you that connect.
No, but I was just saying, if you had that information right now, that was the information that like that's the type of life that I had all the way around. That energy of just being into the same thing. Like I remember I was with Missy, and she had one of her dancers. Her mother wrote "Sideshow" by Blue Magic.
Wow.
And I had the blessing of being on the phone with her, and talking to her, and she wrote "Sideshow" by Blue Magic.
Yeah.
Like crazy stuff like that. You know
That's
what I'm saying? I could keep
crazy,
going.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So again, like you had the Janet Jackson, experience. You had so many more experiences since then.
Yeah.
It's no more that you think. Where's the next Rockwilder ready to take himself?
Nah, I'm just
Rolling with the vibe.
I'm just rolling with the vibe. But I am dropping. I'm gonna start dropping because I always said at 50 years old I wanted to start making my instrumental music. I want to start remixing the Rockwilder, Do It Again, Oh No, and make jazz versions of it. And I also want to create original pieces of the songs because as it stands, the only time those original pieces exist is on those records. So I kind of want to make original pieces of the music, being that it was never sampled. I want to create original pieces and make jazz pieces. I want to make techno pieces, Latin pieces, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And just have so much of those melodies out. Like, the melody of the Rockwilders are really, it's a really classical melody. I want to bring that out. Oh No is a great melody. Dirty, of course, is a pop record already. So, but it derives from Let's Get Dirty by Redman. But I just want to take those qualities that I put on those records and just create more instrumental. Ramsey Lewis, Herbie Hancock, you know what I'm saying? Like those type of vibes, and just create a whole new musical world for me.
It's time for those people to start sampling your music.
Yeah, I'm getting sampled. SZA sampled me for one of the records with Kendrick Lamar, When the Wind Blows or something like that. Something like that. I get paid off that. Jesus, I get paid off that.
That's
and then Bryson Tiller sampled me too on he sampled Would You Mind by Janet Jackson.
Yeah, that was that joint. I did. Oh yeah, I did. I remember. Whatever. Toby, you did that joint.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and speak about the brother. Whatever. I was trying to get him to jump in the Zoom. I guess he's a little too busy right now. So shout out to you, whatever, man. Hey, so whatever. Like he's done music with you. Me and him, we met each other in Miami a while ago. I think last time I saw you was when you were getting ready to go on to the one of those cruises to the Bahamas, and we was chilling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, down with everybody. And whatever, like what brought you close to whatever? Was that you guys grew up with each other, or what's good with that?
Whatever. When I started becoming the whole Rockwilder thing, whatever came to my house one day and woke me up early one morning and said, "Yo, man, I just want you to hear me rap, man, because I think I might have what you need." You know what I'm saying? So he did this one rap for me. And after that one rap, we've been on a journey ever since.
That's
and
awesome.
The crazy thing about his career is we did Derelict Camp, Move It In, Move It Out. back then, and the group had disbanded, and then he we started working on music. We never came down off this mountain that we was doing, man. And we was just blessed to be a part of a lot of ill situations. Like we had a label release party in Cancun, and then all of a sudden when he wanted to do gospel music, no, matter of fact, we had did music, and then 50 Cent put him on the tour with him.
Right, I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, 50 Cent
he was on the opening when he was like 50 was the hottest thing before he even released the album. Like he was the hottest thing out, and he was he was on tour with 50 like everywhere.
Yeah, and 50 one time had told everybody that this guy had a lot to do with me rapping, like whatever, and then whatever came off the road and said he wanted to do church music. He became successful in the church music, toured around the world with the music tours, and then chilled off that, went and had a family, and now he's a financial advisor of one of the most successful firms.
Yeah.
That boy get your money right, man. Holla at your boy, whatever, man. White collar, whatever, man. That boy get your money right.
Yes. So sometimes he'd be like, yo, Rock, man, I feel like we didn't get a chance to do it. I said, dude, do you want to really run down the timeline of what you did? I was like, who goes on the road with 50 Cent and then leaves 50? Not because something happened, because you want to do gospel music. Then you come and do gospel music and becomes good at the gospel music, and then leave the gospel music and then make a beautiful family and then become a successful financial investor. Right. I said, you tell me what rapper
can do that. Now, did he tell you
that type of timeline?
Now, did he tell you the story about when he came down to South Florida? They was down here in Boca. It was 50 Cent. He was doing what was the first song? The In the Club song.
Yeah.
So he was doing the In the Club joint, and it was Club Boca up in Palm Beach. So it's like it's not in Fort Lauderdale. It's not in Miami. It was up a little higher. So when I got there, whatever was like, yeah, we on our way. And when I got there, man, there was police out there everywhere, man. They was at rubber bullets, everything. So I guess they drove through. They saw what was going on and kept it moving, and then went to a hotel and then got everything together. But he said he think the hotel was haunted and everything. He tell you about that story?
Nah,
he tell you about the haunted hotel, bro?
Nah, he told me about that.
Oh, man. He was telling me, he said that hotel was haunted, man. 50 felt it was haunted. He felt it was haunted. It was all types of crap. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I don't know if they even really coming, because I was outside waiting and the police make you move over the side. I was like, bro, by the time I got back down to the crib to drop off my artists, because I was managing artists at the time, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. He was like, yo, we pulling up right now. I'm like, dog, I'm 45 minutes away now. It's over. You know what I mean? But shout out to whatever, bro. That brother's very talented.
I call whatever AC in the Bronco. He in the Bronco with me, man.
Yeah, man. Whatever is very talented, man.
Even to this day, lyrically talented.
Yes.
To this day, lyrically one of the most lyrical ill dudes on this planet.
Yes, we were in the same studio with Ross and DJ EFN and UB, all these people down here in Miami, and we just happened to run into each other. Actually, me and whatever ran into each other because of this chick, and then we ended up going to the same studio together that same night. Like, you going there? I was like, let's roll together. Let's go. Him and Bellis. You remember Bellis? Bellis, remember Bellis, his manager?
Bellis,
yeah. That was the dudes, man. That was back in the day, man.
The fresh fraternity, which I remember.
Yo, man. So, but it's been a long time from then to now, man. You've done greatness, man. I just can't, I can't wait to have you down here in studio, man. We want to have you here, bro. You gotta let me know you got any dietary restrictions or anything like that, because we got a chef that come in, you know what I'm saying, make some food and anything like that
we
for
good,
our
we
guests.
good, man. We good.
Nothing like that. You good? You know what I'm saying? Because we can make sure you going to feel comfortable. You feel me?
Okay, good.
So, you know, this is Strong Arm here now. Shout out to Flo Rida. Shout out to Freezy. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Rick Petty, man. Rick Petty, everybody out there that's doing their thing, man. Wildman, Teddy T, and everybody like that. So, let me make sure I don't leave anything out, because I want to make sure we good before we gone. When is the next time you think you're going to be down this way, man? You doing another Bahamas joint?
I like the end of the summer.
Are you going to be doing another one of those Bahamas joints?
No. Just down there for the summer.
Oh, okay, man. Come down, please. Make sure we link.
Okay.
All right. Now, what would you do? Like, if you met a younger Rockwilder right now, like, what would you tell a younger Rockwilder to do? Probably to help him continue to succeed to probably where you are, if not even further.
I'm certain that he was about to embrace and walk the same journey I did. I'd be like, man, just stay humble, work as hard as you can, and work hard, not because you want to work hard because you love it. Because I did it because I loved it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did it because I loved it.
It was a passion. It really wasn't a job to you, right?
Nah, it wasn't a job to me. It didn't become a job to me until I got like 45, 46, 47, when I started looking at the technology and wanted to be a part of the new technology, the computer and stuff like that. It became work like that. But when we had the machines, it was really a vibe.
Do you miss like the ADATs, and like, do you think it was more warmness from that type of music?
Nah, I don't think of it that way. I like what's happening now with these computers. You know what I'm saying? I like it.
The vinyl, you don't miss anything with the vinyl?
I love vinyl.
Love vinyl.
I don't miss it because I still have it.
Okay, you still got it. You ain't gonna let that go.
I just love putting records on the turntable and playing them. I love that.
Okay, that's what's up. I like that, man. I watched you in that Rhythm Roulette joint, man. I saw you don't sample, you replay everything.
Yeah.
Like, what really, like, gives you the feel to hit the right keys? Because you said you are not really musically, you say to yourself you're not really the musically inclined type person. What gives you?
I feel it.
You just feel it?
I feel it. It's a world to me. It'll put a picture in my head, like when people say you seeing sounds, like
Kanye, you say he sees sounds.
I say this to say, if you notice, a lot of my music don't sound alike.
Nope.
It's because it's a different day to me when I work. It's a different if a different artist brings a different mood, which brings different progressions, which brings different moods and different things. So, like when I did Front to Back by Exhibit, I was thinking of just owning LA with the biggest record of my representation of how I looked at lowriders and good and just just having fun, and then
was a lot of
Lady
that
Marmalade was just
when you looked at the lowriders, was a lot of that coming from what you saw on TV too, like what we yeah. So you get the vibe on how you feel.
I vibe on how I feel.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Now
Okay.
coming up, a lot of producers had a signature sound. What do you feel was your signature sound? Because for you, it was kind of, for me, it was like that. Actually, off the Method Man and Redman joint, where it's like the like I knew that Rockwilder was like coming on.
Yeah,
it was that feel, and I knew it. It's the same thing like with Timbaland. You know his drums.
Yeah.
A lot of different producers. Like now, I don't really see too much of a signature sound. What do you feel about that, or how?
I still feel that this trap music and the way they produce is very genius. I still get a chance to experience what we do because with the Czar joint that I did for Busta Rhymes and and with other stuff that I did.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was happy to see that. I was definitely happy to see that.
So we still get a chance to be a part of what we are, but I still don't knock like with Mike Will, Metro Boomin, Sunny
Right.
Digital, like all of these South Side, like these niggas is amazing, man.
Now,
Like
some of
you
them,
know,
they do have their own signature sound, and they're right, because Southside, with
yeah,
his 808s and everything like that.
yes,
But
yeah, they're
it's
geniuses, man. They're genius. They're so genius. They're, Young Chop and all these different type of producers, man.
yeah,
They're just geniuses, man. They just, I feel like with every generation, no matter what it transcends to, you just got a bunch of kids that are just in. They're just in.
yeah.
You got kids that are working the MPC Touch now that would never know what the MPC 3000 is about.
Exactly. It's totally
Right.
different.
Or even the 2000,
Yeah, the
bro.
2000. We had the
you
2000
so
with
you
the
would lose
disc.
you would
had
lose
to put the disc in
man, you would
in
lose a
order to
sample
load
so
it, load up
fast.
everything. Yeah, if I turned it off, it was gone.
Oh, you turned it off.
It's over.
Yes.
Yeah, so my whole thing, I get shocked about how I can save music, have folders of music, have unlimited sound, sample time of drums, and how these drums now you actually are downloading from kits that are already mixed and mastered.
Right.
Like we didn't have that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So
it was like hard and
I'm really amazed. Come on, I just downloaded something from the Unison MIDI chord progression thing that gives you all these different chords. That piano, you would have had to pay a piano player to come in and play. You can now take MIDI and also I can go on the pop MIDI from back in the 70s and download stuff like September by Earth, Wind and Fire, and then take the MIDI and move it to how I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you didn't do that.
no.
We got what's that? Somatics out too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bro.
They coming out with kits, just left and right. They got kits out.
Kits, just kits and kits and kits, but that chord progression thing bugged me out, like Scala, Cthulhu, like all of those different type of places. I'm like, y'all got chord generators where we don't even need to make chords no more. The chords are already there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're right.
They already there.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
It's almost like it's no way that someone could make a bad record.
Yes,
but they can.
They can, but it's depending on the person.
Yeah, but it's really drag and drop. Everything is drag and drop hit record, but see, that's why I also celebrate my career from back then, because I feel like, if I say this correctly, the authenticity.
The authentic. I'm with you too. Wait, the authenticness.
It's authenticity.
Authentic. I'm with you too.
Authenticity of
there you go.
Timberland and Dre and Neptune, and Alchemist and Premier and myself. Thank God I'm in that category. I'm actually looking at a chairman of the board thing on my wall. So as I'm saying this, that was the year that I actually became one of the dudes that was on the chairman of the board that year with Todd. So I'm looking at all the names on the drink, but I'm looking at like Just Play, Big Dog, Swiss Beats. We became, man. I feel like we became in the Motown era of hip hop. The Motown.
Yeah, yes. I get that too. Yeah,
I
definitely get it.
And we exist in the Motown of hip hop. Like my music now in the streaming world is like elevator music.
Listen, that's unbelievable though.
I know.
Like that's an unbelievable thing to go ahead and transfer. I mean, not transpire to, but to go ahead and transfer to, from being just a hip hop person to elevator music, bro. Like, how does hip hop become elevator music? And also asking right there at that question, when it came down to hip hop, did you think? Because I asked the same question to my man DJ EFN, man. Shout out to EFN, shout out to Nori, shout out to Drink Champs. You got to be on Drink Champs. I'm gonna call EFN, fam. They got to get you on Drink Champs. You got to get on Drink Champs, bro. You got too many stories. We're gonna make sure we get you on Drink Champs. But throughout all that being said, do you think that I just freaking forgot what I was going to say. Guess what?
That hip hop.
Oh, that
Because
hip hop
you
would have
say
took
that-
you this
that
far.
hip-hop would
Thank you.
become-
Would have became what it is right now. Because my father always used to tell me that hip hop would not go ahead and last another 10 years. Then I was back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
You feel me?
Whoa,
My father
Lord.
wasn't a big
one
fan
thing-
of hip hop.
Well, one thing that happened that really put a when I remember when. All right, now check this out. So now the hip hop is coming hip hop, and then all of a sudden Napster hits.
Yeah.
And now music is starting to be pirated, and then there's a world where it's mixtapes, nobody's getting paid, and music is being pirated. So everybody gets into a panic because nobody knows that computer is becoming this thing. So then a guy comes to me by the name of Fat Fingers, which his name is Alan Brown. And he comes to me and starts teaching me how to lease beats. And we start Rock Battle. Back in 2004.
Yo, wait. Wasn't that we bought that daggone little beat machine at that time? Was that?
That's Beat Thing.
That's Beat Thing. Yep.
Oh,
I
Beat
got
Thing.
that.
Yeah, we
Beat
bought
Thing.
that. That's what that was.
Beat Thing was something that had a moment, but then we also had this thing called Rock Battle. And the only people that was actually surviving, all right, my man came to me and said, yo, the industry is about to change. The computers is about to change. Your iTunes is about to separate, is about to change the whole economic design of how producers are getting paid.
And you believed him, right?
What? No, I didn't believe him. I was just like, he said, yo, you should lease beats out for a certain amount of money that they don't belong to nobody, but people can use them. I said, nah, I can't do that. I'm Rockwilder. He said, yo, give me like 20 to 30 tracks that you're not using. I gave him 20 to 30 tracks. He went and came back with a wad of money. At a time, nobody was making money. He was like, yo, thank you. And I'm like, what did you do? Hustle my tracks or something? and what he did was, he had me ready for what the industry was about to do, because the computers were actually changing the whole dynamic of how people were getting paid. So I say that to say we started Rock Battle, but then also iTunes started making your favorite song 99 cents.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you were on a classical album and you were making singles and you didn't have different stipulations in your contract, you didn't get paid.
Right.
Because you wasn't getting downloaded.
Word.
Yep.
So everybody went into a panic. Now, mind you, we didn't know that it was going to twist over to streaming.
Right.
So now when it goes to iTunes and everybody breaks down, and now everybody gets a chance to break the code of downloads and now have free music on the internet finds a way to switch it over to streaming. So now you don't have to download your favorite song. You can stream your favorite song. But the crazy thing is that whether you like the song or not, it still counts as a stream because you listen to it to not like it or listen to it to like it.
Right.
Yep.
So now streaming changes the whole economic value of the music. But in my case, I had popular singles and I was on popular albums. So I get streamed more than I probably would have got a purchase.
Got
The only problem is that the streaming income amount, they've already got it rigged up to the point that we don't get our actual residuals. But
Right.
if you were on the popular albums and the popular singles,
Mm-hmm.
you do suffer what is happening, but you are in the
That
clear.
tier. You're in that kind of like
Right.
that top tier.
You're in the top tier.
Okay.
And then I have an old contract. My contract is not tampered with digital sales and digital sales.
Right.
The only thing that my contract has a problem with is how do you put digital sales in my contract?
Right. Because we didn't know
Sales.
anything about that before.
You know anything about it. So I think what happened in my contract, and this is just my hypothesis, is that my contract still has to be respected as an actual 4-point full cap situation.
Right.
Which means that I probably make more now.
Mm-hmm.
I make more with the old contract. I'm
Right.
streaming with the old contract.
That's better.
That's better.
The BS
But
that everybody else is running into, right?
Yes, I don't know if that's the case.
Okay.
But I do also know that when it does change and we do start getting our residuals,
Right.
and I didn't sample, and I'm
Right.
playing original music,
Right.
and I'm 4 points full cap, it's over.
They
Yeah.
gotta flood you. They have to.
Oh,
flood
they
you.
got it. Well, I
They
hope
have
I'm
to.
here to see it, but if not, they're gonna have to pay my estate
Exactly.
that I've already established due
Exactly.
to whatever whatever now is a financial advisor. He just told me that I had intellectual property for my whole estate for my children's.
Since we talking about that gentleman, man, shout out to whatever, man. Whatever, where you at, fam, man? I don't hear you.
He's
Where
in
you
there. I
at?
see his photo is up.
I can
What's
hear
up?
him.
What's up, fellas?
There you
this
go.
is Rock.
Oh,
What's up, whatever?
look at
Rock's
that.
moment, man.
Look
You
at
know,
that. Look
I'm
at
learning
that.
something here.
Shout out
Hold
to
on,
that
but
brother.
now we in your department.
We right there in your department.
So
Let's
now
go.
we're talking about
I'm a
intellectual property that you told me that I've been working off. How did you say it? You said I've been working off retirement since I was in '92. I've been
Pretty
working
much.
off retirement.
Yeah. It's an asset. I mean, it's an asset class. You know what I mean? You think about different ways you can make money, and primarily you think about a business, you think about real estate, you think about stock. But then that intellectual property is like its own little funny space, just like crypto now is becoming its own asset class. But that intellectual property, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You know, after you die, years, decades after you're gone, it just continues to pay out. So
That's
So
real.
he
I mean,
said-
that's the beautiful
real.
thing.
So he basically said that my hit records with the full cap 4 points in the streaming world is actually acting as intellectual property.
That's what's up.
It's crazy.
Man. See,
You already
these
did
are
all
the
the
things-
heavy lifting. It's all easy now. It's all downhill at this point.
But I'm so
already,
happy.
Already did the heavy lifting. Already did it.
I'm so happy. I'm so
there
happy.
you go. That's the hardware right
Listen, that we can go ahead and explain this.
The trophies on the wall.
I'm happy we can explain this to people because people don't understand, you know, how to go ahead and to understand the intellectual property. They don't understand how some people just give away music for free. You know, some people we had a conversation earlier where, you know, people want to just get free beats, like your throwaway beats. You just said something about that. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you
Making
still
money
got to
off it.
charge for your throwaway beats. You like, whatever it may be, people want to get on, but everybody got to work hard. You got to grind. You got to put in your own work to get there. We just talked about whatever, man. Whatever was on tour with 50 Cent, man. Before 50 Cent is the 50 Cent he is now. Like, in the club was popping. This brother was on tour with him, man, and doing his thing. You know what I mean? And look where he's at now, man. He's a financial advisor, bro. This brother will go ahead and get your money right. So these are the things we need to go ahead and tell our community, though. We don't get the opportunity to do this. You feel me? You're there.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and help, you know what I'm saying, tell the people what's needed, bro, because we don't get this opportunity often. You know what I mean? We
I
got
think
a
that's the
platinum
truth.
producer. We got you here. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think that's the jewel, man. I think that, it's a lot of money being made. And that's why I was just sitting there listening, because every time I kick it with Rock, he's kind of schooling me on just the different methods and the different ways that the industry is moving. And I see it. I pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing just how the whole industry is transitioned, and then so fast because of technology. You know, and so me being in this space right now, although music is a part of my DNA, right? It'll never go anywhere. You know, we still here. Me and Rock got music, you know what I mean? But this is my area of concentration right now. And I love it just as much as I love music, you know? And it's because in our community, I feel like it's a mission, like, you know, especially when you talk about, come on, Rock, you probably ran through tens of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you think about people who are making big money right now and the opportunity they have, and how many people don't, you know, they blow it. And then now it's yesterday's story.
Not only say that, but I remember one time, like I told you before Newkirk, I told you, I said, whatever, you know, was on the phone with me, and he was speaking to me in a way of saying, yo, you know, I still got my best work in front of me.
Right.
And I was like, Lloyd Banks is going to be able to write a book about how he became a great rapper and he got down with 50 Cent.
Right.
Tony Yayo could write a book about how he was a great rapper, had a hustling career. I said, who's going to be able to write the book of being a rapper, then becoming a rapper with a producer, a successful producer, then going
and
on
we toured even before I went with G-Unit. You know what I'm saying? So we're already out there.
Yeah, so who's going to be able to write a book that talks about his life, his career with Rockwilder, his career with 50 Cent, leaving 50 Cent, becoming a gospel rapper,
right,
doing great as a gospel rapper, then leaving, making a great family, and becoming a successful financial advisor. Who's going to be able to write a book like that?
See, everybody
everybody
want to hear the shooting and shots and everything else, but like when it comes down to positivity, man, I love whatever for that, because he creates, like, his music isn't. He tells you where he's from. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna tell you where he's from. He'll tell you what it's about, but he doesn't have to go ahead and get into too much detail. He's not gonna go ahead and put himself in harm's way. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people go ahead. We talked about this recently about people going on interviews and they say the wrong things on interviews because the other person is egging them on. You know, I ain't gonna say no bad names, no names. I mean, like that, but but people egg them on to get things out of them that they shouldn't even be saying in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So if you go ahead and you know that it may be going somewhere, if you go ahead and you change the subject, man, then that's how you go ahead and be the person that, you know what I mean?
We got to evolve, man.
Definitely.
We got to grow. Yeah.
Listen, so with you, brother, like explain to the people what they can do with their money, man, how they can go ahead and build, man, people that just have a few dollars that can go ahead and grow their money and take it a little further.
I think it's just on a very practical note. You got to think about it. And we could talk about the music industry. We could talk about just the regular everyday person. The regular everyday person, you, more than likely, if you have a job, a 9 to 5, then if you're working for a bigger corporation, then you'll have the opportunity to participate in a 401k or something like that. And a lot of people are like, nah, man, I don't want nobody taking no money out my check. But the reality is you can't afford for them not to, and the 401k, it's not, it's an opportunity for you to save systematically every paycheck, every week, every month, for you to put away little by little, because that's how the wealth is built. It's not about catching the next lick. It's not about trying to get rich overnight. Wealth is built over time. And so when you just keep adding, it seems like little drops in a bucket. Next thing you know, you're starting to form this nice little snowball.
Definitely.
10, 20 years down the line, when it's time for a person to get ready for retirement, we don't think about that kind of stuff. But by that time, that money accumulates. Now you're talking about having a couple $100,000, few $100,000 to coast off with for the latter days of your life. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Not only that, Rock mentioned it before, it's generational wealth.
Right.
Those are the conversations that we need to be having, especially in this music industry.
Right.
How much quick money is being made, but no one's paying themselves.
Exactly.
Right? You getting the money and it's going right out. It's just in one door and out the other, revolving door. No money staying with you. No money staying in your family and your legacy. It's not growing.
Right.
So you taking that apple, you biting that apple and throwing it away. How many people eat the apple and just toss it? And there's like 10 seeds inside of it. Just one of those seeds, you plant that seed and it's going to grow another orchard for you.
Exactly.
But how many people eat the apple and toss it?
You know what I mean? Breaking it down, my brother.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. But then we wonder why we set behind. You know what I mean? And then when it's time for our kids to go to school, they don't have the money, so they got to take the student loans. Don't have the money for the down payment. Don't have the money to get married, and we start behind the 8 ball because we got to borrow.
Yeah, and to be real with you, I still owe student loans, from when I went to college. You know what I'm saying? So I still owe their ass. You know what I mean? But we still grinding. We still making things happen. So, you know what I mean? When we get those meals, then I'll pay their ass off. They can't wait.
Yo, word up, man. That's real, man.
But you got to go ahead and be able to invest, man. That's what really matters, man. For people to invest, to grow, so we can go ahead. Like we had this conversation earlier this week, to buy back your community, people can go ahead and talk about it every day, but until you go ahead and put in that work and get that money and work together, bro, we still gonna look at the same thing we've been looking at for years and years on, bro, decades on.
It's practical, Newkirk. It's just everyday stuff. Just making sure you pay yourself 10, 20% off the top. Before you start going out, having a good time, before you start paying the bills, just pay yourself.
Right. Right.
Put it to the side, and
Right.
it'll start working for you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It'll work for you. You put the money to work. So
Rock, you went ahead and you've taken this brother's advice, man. Has he steered you wrong in any way?
Well, I'm just starting with him.
Oh, you starting with
in
him?
the
Okay.
financial thing, and the
Right.
crazy thing is that I was telling somebody about whatever, and I was saying like, yeah, you know, I'm down here in Atlanta, ready to do investment properties and everything and all that stuff. And then somebody said something really funny. They was like, yeah, you're ready to work with the financial advisor with real estate already because your songs are already the houses that are the real estate.
Right.
So you're just adding on his expertise to your real estate already, because sometimes I'm thinking I'm still at the starting point.
Right.
When I'm about to dance with him, I'm thinking I'm at the starting point, but they was like, no, your songs are already making money. So you're already in an investment plan with your songs already. You're just going to whatever and making an extra investment.
yeah, you just diversifying.
We
I'm
need
just
hip hop.
diversifying now.
We need
now.
We need hip hop investors. Need hip hop advisors. Like the people will go ahead and get this money real fast. Like we were just having this conversation, whatever, right? These people will go ahead and get this money real fast. They get $20,000 to do this show, but then they'll leave from going ahead and doing that show on South Beach, go to KODs and blow it, or go to Tootsie's and blow that whole 20 G's they got. They can went ahead and just took 5, put it away, right?
Yeah, pay them taxes too.
Pay them taxes too, yeah.
Uncle Sam's gonna get his.
Yeah.
You gotta pay the tax and you gotta pay yourself. And if you're a company, that's the crazy thing too. You gotta do it all as a company. Because as an individual, you're gonna pay that tax up. When you get a paycheck, a regular person getting a paycheck, they're gonna pull that tax out off the rip.
Right.
Yeah.
Since you get to pay your taxes last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have a company, a corporation, you funnel all of your checks through your corporation.
Right.
Pay yourself as your own employee. Pay everything else you got to pay, studio expenses, whatever you need to pay for. Uncle Sam would take his cut out, and you can have a payroll service to do something like that. Then after what you pay yourself, out of that 20, probably 10%, 15% come out up the top. All right, fine. You're going to pay the $2,500, take care of the tax man. But now you still your company's, and it's showing that the company is showing an income.
Right.
So what's that doing for the company? The company can build credit.
Yep.
The company can now leverage that credit to get other things, buy other assets, properties, whatever else you want to get. And so, that's just the way it goes, man.
That's what's
I
up.
talk about this all day, obviously.
Yeah. I call it his hot 16.
I think these now. That's what they sound like.
I think might have to name his book The Hot 16.
Wow.
So I got to go ahead and start working on the whatever documentary.
Right?
Right?
Hot 16, right? Whatever, that's
Hot
the book,
16.
right?
Yeah.
That's it.
I like
Here we
that.
go. That's Dre right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Together.
Because these are going to be the best lyrics you ever heard.
Yo, that's real though. High 16 and financial advice.
Jay-Z said, you don't know. And whatever's book, it's going to be like, oh, you don't know. I remember when Jay-Z did You Don't Know, and I was sitting right next to him, and he played it. And I said, yo, why you sound like that? He said, what are you talking about? He started smiling. I said, because you like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4, in 18 months, 80 million more. Now I add that number up to the one. I said, I never heard anything about that. I said it to him. I said, he said, I'm raping these niggas. I said, I never heard nobody put business in how you say it. Like, are you doing this? I said, I looked at him and said, is this what you're doing? I said, because I never heard nobody ever rapped and said exactly what was happening. This nigga said, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 in 18 months, 80 million more. I add that number up to the one I said before. You are now looking at one smart back boy. Papa ain't raised no palm. Put me on anywhere on God's green earth. I triple my worth. I'm like, nobody's rapping like that. They're talking about how funky the beat is. They're talking about how sick they are. They're talking about how they're gonna, do this, do this. I said, nigga, you rapping about the process and the progress?
Word.
That's when I first heard it. That's when I first heard somebody talking about, and look where it's at right now.
You can't knock them.
Trying to give you game for $9.99. Like, what's it?
Right now, I gotta make sure I start getting some of that music popping. Well, y'all say I wish I had that song rolling at the same time. Y'all saying that. You feel me? So, but like this is awesome, man, because I got the opportunity to have you on along with whatever, and the caliber of music that whatever's created, like whatever's went ahead and been on another continent. And I'm like, what the hell he doing in Colombia? Like, and they rocking with him though. They're rocking with him 100%, dude. They just rocking with him. And I'm like, does whatever know Spanish?
I don't, man. It's just love, man. I think that was really just the type of music, you know what I mean? And that's just with purpose. Right. I never liked that. Like you said, man, I always remember where I come from. So it's never a thing about trying to be preachy. I never wanted to go there. I never really wanted to touch Christian rap, gospel rap in the first place because right. I just thought it was so sacred. Like, me and my my filthy background. You know what I mean?
whatever.
Everybody got a pass. God forgives.
No, down there in Miami.
God forgives. Yes, sir.
But I just always thought it was a sacred thing, man. And then I realized that, there's a lot of people that could relate to, not trying to be preachy about it, just really just having an authentic message. Right. And I think that's really what it was, that people gravitate towards, even in another country. Even without understanding the lyrics, there's a couple things that they're able to pick up. They love hip hop out there. It's like hip hop in the 90s out there. Right. Graffiti everywhere. Before the shows, they're doing breakdancing, graffiti, all the elements, DJing, they do all of that, man. So it was just love from the people. You know what I mean? And I think that's really more so what it was than them knowing every single lyric,
Yeah.
Like I said to Rock, man, when you come back, we had UB in the studio. So we had
Say word.
Yeah, we had UB in the studio. So he came down. Shout out to UB, man. We had UB in the studio. Yeah, we're THC crew. And we were talking about you and everything like that. So, when you come down, of course you're 100% welcome, as well as, of course, Rock. Man, he's 100% welcome.
Yo, Rock,
so.
no, UB. UB was when we did a show down there, and that's how we all met, I think, when we did that show down there in Miami. At was it Bill? It wasn't Billboard Live. It was another spot that we were in. When we did the show down there, and Red jumped on stage. Remember that, Rock?
Yeah.
Hey, UB had all the trees.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Like I said before, you were a homegirl in the panel. I was high during the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, I was high during the whole time.
Yeah. He definitely, man. Yeah, we knew who UB was off the rip.
It's blessings though that we
good dude, man. Real good dude. Definitely. Solid brother.
So much stuff. I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you something, man. We I don't know what that career, I don't know what that journey and that timeline was, man. But it was like, if we wasn't walking down the street with Floyd Mayweather promoting music, we was in a church. We was in a church with carte blanche treatment. If we wasn't there, we was in Bahamas with our own label.
I was doing a wakeboard out.
Yeah, we was in Orlando with the wakeboarders doing wakeboard music, like, whatever, with 50 Cent, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like what more can we do?
Can't ask for too much more, right?
Yeah.
Now, what was one of the best? I'm gonna ask on both of you guys. What was one of the best times you guys being on tour? One, I'm gonna ask you whatever, and I don't know if it's gonna be the same as Rock's, but Rock, I'm gonna ask you again, same thing. So, what was one of the best times you guys being on tour, and where was it at?
Yeah, I would say, man, That's it. I think Cancun we had the most fun for sure. But I think that something that just stood out the most was actually in Miami. That was at Billboard Live. I didn't know, but that was at that time when I guess Rock knows everybody.
Rock, don't feel bad. I forget. I forgot about a lot of this, and then there's more stories to it.
You have us here all night talking about stories, but
you're right.
No. You won't top us with stories. We got stories.
It just goes on and on and on. But it was the time where Rock had, I guess one of the 2 or 3, it was like 3 times where he introduced me to Beyonce, but it was in Billboard, on that Billboard Live. She was supposed to come through to the show. I don't think she made it at the show, but she still came through the show. Rock
came to our parties. She came to our after party and hung out with us.
Hung out with us, man. Bird. And it was so crazy that Justin Timberlake, I think Pharrell was hanging out for a minute too.
Yeah.
I guess they really like Beyonce. This was when I guess she might have been talking to Jay during this time.
Yeah.
She was kicking it because Rock, he done did a whole bunch of music for him, but she was just there kicking him, and I was like, yo, this is not even real right now. This is not even happening right now. And I was right there in your backyard, Newkirk, right there at Billboard Live. I don't even have it.
I remember Billboard Live. I remember how it was, man. Shit was crazy back in the day, bro. Like
Beyonce came through to hang out for a minute, for a skinny minute, but it was love, and I'll never forget that.
What was one of the craziest things that happened on tour?
Hold on.
Wow.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I got her on. I want to make sure we got her. There we go.
Yeah, you got me.
See her.
Yeah. So now you off.
Yeah.
What was one of the craziest things that happened on tour?
Cool, me?
Yeah.
Oh man. On which tour? On the Redman tour? On the whatever tour? On the Missy tour? What tour?
Do the Redman.
Missy.
Oh man,
Missy.
I can give you a Missy one, I can give you a Redman one, but I can really give you a Redman one. Redman one time had, I don't even know if I should tell this story because I'm gonna get choked for this story if they're watching it right now. Well, I'm gonna say one story. This is what I learned, that you always gotta have. No. I'm gonna let this story pop because there's like 100 stories.
Damn, Rock, you got too many stories. Huh?
Red loved jumping off stage. Jumping off stage. Like they had to jump off stage. We performed in not like we didn't perform in a stadium. We performed in a college auditorium. And Red is sitting there rocking the mic. And Red jumps off stage, and so we're in a college auditorium, which means that the seats start right at the front of the stage. Right. Like they start in rows. These are seats that are not moving. I don't care what. So on stage. And when he jumps and the crowd moves because he's going to land where he's landing, he's jumping in row 4, seat 10, and the seats are like this. So he just folds into the row.
He folded with the chair.
Boy, my friend, the whole Titanic just went down. So whatever. Yo, my friends, but he tore himself up, dude. For like 2 more weeks, he was with a cane. He was like, damn. What up, y'all?
Oh, wow.
He was on a biggie.
Yo, row 3.
Yeah, wooden chairs that fold up.
He folded in there. He folded in the crowd. And the crowd was like this. Whoa. Yeah, that was probably like the funniest. Oh, and then there was one where he didn't have water on stage. And that's what I learned. You must always have water on stage because he was like in his 6th song and that cardio of jumping all around, he needed water and that water wasn't on that stage. And he was like, where's my water at? Where's my water? Where's my water? And we had to run while the songs were being played. We had to run and grab him one bottle. One bottle of water saved his life.
DJ, what tour was that? What tour was that we were at? And
Which
Busta
one?
was up on stage.
Okay,
And he threw that water. Somebody threw a water bottle, and he started throwing a whole bunch of water at him because he had a whole bunch of water up on stage. So he started throwing all the water at him.
Damn, which one was that?
What tour was that?
Oh, we was on. Shout out to Uncle Ron, man, Robert. We was on. It was the 50 Cent. I think 50 Cent.
Rock the Bells one.
I think it might have been. I don't know if it was Rock the Bells. It was 50 Cent. It was Fabulous. It was
50
it was right
Cent,
after 50
Fabulous,
Cent. Yeah, that was.
and Jay-Z.
I don't think Jay was there.
Eminem was on that one.
Oh no, it wasn't us then. Because I remember
Eminem.
Fabulous,
Yeah. So
Fabulous,
we had Exhibit was on there. Eminem.
Oh, okay, that was us.
Right? Was that Exhibit? Was Exhibit on that one?
Yeah, Exhibit was on.
Exhibit and Eminem.
that must have been when Busta was with Aftermath.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, man, I had to bless and a pleasure to be around a lot of different, greats. So, you being one of them, man. So like, it's an honor, at itself. You right now, like what you've done, like I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, like we used to ride in the crib and ride in the car and stuff, you know what I'm saying, listening to the tracks, man, in the cold in Buffalo, man. It used to be cold as hell. But we was able to go ahead and grind what we need to do because of that music. Like it just, it gave you that extra umph, that extra push, that what you needed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess I had to say that, but with Busta was throwing water on the crowd because somebody threw some water at Busta. He wasn't playing, bro. Like he
was like, "Who threw that?
He said,
"Who threw that?" And then the guy's friends was like, him, and he just started throwing all this water. He picked up every water bottle he had up on stage and started throwing it at the guy. And I'm just like,
he was just throwing them. Give me some more.
Split Star walk over, hand him some more bottles.
Yeah, he just started spraying everybody, bro. Like it was crazy, bro. Shout out to Busta, man.
Busta Rhymes he's well deserved to be in star mode.
He's a great
celebrity mode.
Yeah,
and the mode that he be in. But when Busta is in his mode, and you either take a picture of him without asking or something like that.
Right.
Oh Jesus. I just go like this. Ooh, no.
Not now. So, but like with Busta, I got the opportunity to play basketball with him. I think it was Wyclef was there. It was on the Smoking Grooves tour. Ziggy Marley was there, and I think it was the Dow's Effects, I believe.
Yeah, Lauryn
Hill and I was there. It was crazy, man. And Busta, before he would start playing, he was on stage jumping up and down doing woo-ha.
Yeah.
I think it was like 96 or something. He was doing like woo-ha and like bam, bust his finger. He came backstage, it's like, yo, my shit is like you know what I mean? It's like it's fucked up. Like it reminded me of what he did in Higher Learning. So I was like, bro, you doing the same, but he was acting. I mean, he was being himself.
Yeah, being
himself.
What I'm saying?
So
Hoo-Ha is one of my favorite. Every time I listen to Hoo-Ha, I gotta call him and say, what was you thinking about when you made that song? I always do that every time I hear. Just like when I hear "Work It" from Missy, I gotta call her all the time to the point where she knows when I'm calling. I'm like, boy, could you please? I'm like, yo, work it, man. What was you thinking about, man? Like, damn, like Work It is so dope. But then like Hoo-Ha, when I hear Hoo-Ha, I gotta call Busta and be like, yo, you are the illest niggas ever. You know?
Yeah. So what, like, when you say like rock vibes with Eric Sermon, man, you were rapping on Muddy Waters, Closed Case. You were your own rapper. Did you do any ghost writing? Did you do any?
I actually was rapping. I was DJing, and then I became.
I remember that. Yeah.
Then I became a rapper, and then I rapped for a hot minute and went on tour with Red when he did the There's a Dark Side album. I got so frustrated at flying to the next town and smoking and trying to be on sound check. And then having they would put all the women in my hotel room and then pick out of my hotel room and leave all the girls that got rejected in my hotel room.
Damn.
So it's like they did that. They did that for 50 states. After that, I said, I don't want to rap no more, man. I said, I don't want to rap
50
no more.
states?
Dude, he toured the whole world. Like he did everybody. We did everywhere with Redman. Redman was the hottest. And then we did then we had to do half of it with Method Man because Method Man had just got on. So we did Month of the Man.
Right.
So we did that. So after that tour, I said, I don't want to be a rapper no more. And I came home and started doing beats. I was always doing beats, but then I came home and really started doing.
Now, what about the DJing part? Like you know what I'm saying? You said everybody was DJing, everybody wanted to be a DJ in a sense because I don't know if it was easier at the time, but that was what was known at the time. But then you said, F the DJing, I want to become a producer. But
well, the DJing, I always express the DJing part is because back when I was in the 70s, the responsibility of the DJ to the dance floor was such a big responsibility. It wasn't about the scratching. It was just about what records he was throwing on. Right. So when I produce, the reason why I always say I'm a DJ first is because I was around the dudes who controlled the crowd with records and music and a vibe and a feel. So when I produce like those DJs back in the early 80s, early 70s, because they always performed in a way of having to keep the dance floor because that was the responsibility of the DJ.
Right.
And the dopest thing about that was a lot of records back then weren't vocal records that had to have this catchy hook. They were either horn things, horn representations in the hook,
right.
String or synth representations, and that's where I got that quality of sound from when I produced, because the music tells a story without the artist being on it or a hook being on it, you know?
Right.
So I always express the DJ, not the DJ like DJ Scratch, because I can never be DJ Scratch. I can never be as nice as he is, and I can never be as nice as a lot of DJs are. But one thing about me is I'm the kid that when you was a little kid, they said, "Oh, let Dana play the records because Dana know what record I want to play. He know what record I want to hear. Let him put the records on." I know how to do a record, so I incorporated that love for music of performing like that to producing and saying to myself, anytime I do a beat for somebody, all right, how would I want that beat to rock over there? So more of the performance part rather than the scratching and DJing, the skill set.
So you actually understood the skill set of music. And like I asked earlier about like what we were talking about, damn it, Kanye could see, he said he can see the colors in music. Have you ran into like seeing colors in music, or has it just been a vibe, or just how you just feel at that moment?
How you feel, how like the feeling of Rapper's Delight when you first heard it, the feeling of Sucking Seeds when you first heard it, the feeling of the show,
Rock Wilder when you first heard it.
Yeah, like those feelings, like you want to be around those feelings, and even to this day, I work with that type of conviction. I find myself not working like I used to back in the days because I am older and I am a little bit more, I do have the equipment here, but I don't work like I used to. Back in the days, like whatever could tell you, we was just doing beats to play in the truck. We was just doing beats to go to whatever's house and park on the street and play a dope beat and be in the truck just like this. It just so happened that beat will get sold that night if somebody invited me to the studio. That's how it was. Yeah. Wow. But I didn't do the beat for the sale that night. I did the beat just to ride through the hood. Queens was lit. So if you was in a nice car blasting a dope beat through Queens, tell her whatever. That was the day right there. We didn't do nothing else.
Yo, it's summertime in New York right now. I mean,
and all you need to have was money for weed. Yep. Even if your weed ran out, you was gonna find crews that had weed. You was gonna find cliques that had weed. If your weed ran out, I can go to Queens Village, go to my man's crib. I know he's smoking. Right. Everybody's and we all playing this one beat, and we just like this. Damn, that beat is hot. That beat is hot. Then next thing you know, Red will call me. Then me and whatever go and see Red, and I'll sell that beat.
Damn, that quick,
just like that.
But that beat was for the truck.
But was the street talking that quick? Like, was they like, yo, Red, we heard this joint Rock was playing?
Nah, because it was all contained that whoever, it was me, whatever Styles, CO, Lamont, Fay Ray, Sage, Eddie, Boogie. It was like it was 113th. It was Jeff. It was Steve. It was only in a certain group of people.
These are all kind of music people anyway.
Yeah, so. This was our stomping ground. This is where we was. So it wasn't like nobody said I heard that beat. Like we didn't have computers neither. Remember,
right?
Computers, no phones. So it's like we were only in our environment. You know, I think that's probably why I existed too in a great space because of the time. It wasn't a lot of producers back then. It wasn't a lot of dudes that had MPCs. You know, you can't go to your mother and ask for $3,000 to. You can't ask for the rent money to buy a beat machine.
Everybody feel that they're a producer now. Like, do you really have to kind of try to be a producer these days? Like, do you really have to like work for it? You know, like the way that people like the way you work for it, you really put in the work. It wasn't that, you know, you were just around great people. Of course you're around great people, but you took out that time, like Kanye took out the time. He was doing, you know, so many beats all summer, whatever. But like you took out that time to make sure that you were making the music for whomever, but you wanted to make sure you were making great music. And then you make sure you weren't putting out no BS that somebody will luckily get on that'll make something into something. Nothing into something, I should say.
You know what's crazy about the part of my career and the part of whatever's career? We was having fun.
Right.
But we was having fun at a time that we would have fun in Disney World. whatever would be enjoying auto reverse performing it in Disney World. That's what's up. We did auto reverse for the hood
in Disney World.
We did all this stuff for the hood. Like. All right, now it ain't fun. It's me interested. I'm interested now. So It's like I'll put the reasons on. I'll do a beat, have fun with my community, or do a beat. It'll probably sell to somebody like that. But back then, it was like me and whatever didn't spend a whole bunch of time in the studio writing and doing beats. It's just that what we did was special. So it's like when we did it did things. It spoke meters. It just did what it did. Whatever was one of the hottest rappers in Queens. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I was one of the hottest producers in Queens. So we went to the studio at night. We went to the studio on 113th, but we also went to the studio here at night. Newkirk. We just had that. We just had it happen. It was just happening. And then he knew Ed Lover, and Ed Lover was with Pac, and he knew he had just did something with Big Pun, whatever, and it wasn't even on my merit. It was something that he did somewhere else. It's like everything.
That's through styles.
Yeah. Everything that we did had its moments. It's just its moments.
Again, like you got Big Pun right behind you right there, and it's just like nobody can actually go ahead and, you know, witness what you witnessed with Big Pun. I was watching something that you actually posted on IG, and it was with Chris Rivers. It was his son, and it's like his son could spit, man, and they look damn near identical. You know what I mean? So have you got a chance to really get a chance to work with him? And before we get to that, but how was it working with Big Pun?
It was amazing working with Pun, man. Pun was a project that I didn't think I was gonna get on. I was really trying to imitate Buck Wild, Showbiz, Premier. I was trying to imitate those dudes to get on that album, and Beat Miners and all of them. I was trying to imitate them because those type of albums, to me, I was already funked up with Redman, like on this funk journey with Redman. So I didn't think I had anything for Big Pun. But when I did You Came Up and I did Super Lyric, I was actually performing. I was actually trying to do what Buck Wild and them do. The hard hitting drums with the sample. Now,
you did that.
Sample, but You Came Up as a sample. But that was me, Dre Most in the studio. Me and Dre Most upstairs in the room, just trying to do one of them hard hitting boom bap joints, and they just happened to work. Mainly because I was probably still operating in that DJ sense of saying, okay, if I had to do a boom bap song, this is how I would want my boom bap to rock.
Yeah.
That joint was fire. I love that joint to this day.
Man.
He came up. What?
Bro, when it came down to Jay-Z's album, the what was the Dynasty album, right? That was the joint.
Nah, the first one is Life and Time.
The one that had Do It Again on.
Volume 3.
Volume 3. I wasn't really rocking with Volume 3 until I heard that song.
That was a wave right there.
I was a wave, right? Remember that wave? Whatever.
Like after that video and that song, like that's when it was like a shift. I mean, personally for me.
But check it out. We still on the block acting like it's the best beat on the block. We ain't thinking about what it's gonna do to the club.
Right.
We in the car still high, like going up and down the street, going to get Chinese food, going to smoke some more weed, and we just playing and then next thing you know, my boy DJ Twin said, yo, Jay want us to come to the studio. And I said, all right, so I'm gonna bring this beat, and I brought the beat that we was blasting up and down the street all day with.
That's what's
and
up.
they heard it and turned it into a smash.
Let's go.
So check this out, and I'm gonna tell homegirl this. Now you understand why when the beat did get sold, it didn't hit me because I was just like, all right, it got sold. This cool. Nigga, I'm on the block with this joint, like getting out the car, ready to go in the store to get a hero. Remember whatever? We eating heroes on the corner like.
Bro, I haven't heard
that. Was our nostalgia. That was our nostalgia.
I haven't heard heroes in a minute,
exactly.
bro. Like I haven't heard a hero in a minute.
Yeah, but this is our life, yo. We were so fun. Like we would wake up and it'd be Saturday every day. So I got the beat going upstairs, whatever comes upstairs, hear the beat.
First of all, I can hear it from the street down the block because you live down the block. So I can hear it. I already know what he's working on.
Hold on, whatever. And my mother got a church in the basement.
Yeah. Did you have a church in the basement? And you
my mother had a church in the basement. And check this out. What's her name?
Mother Audacity.
Bishop.
No, the girl right there.
Yeah,
Audacity.
Audacity.
What's your name?
Got the Audacity.
Oh, got the Audacity. So listen, Audacity.
I like that.
I got plaques on the wall. My mother throws a church in the basement. I got plaques on the wall like this in my house. my mother said,
gangster rap, right?
Yeah, my mother
Meanwhile, in the attic.
My mother said, my church in the basement. I said, come on, Mom. Nah, man. Nah, you can't put a church in the basement. She said, about to put a church in the basement. She said, I know you're going to play for me. My mother's from Alabama. She said, and I just know you're going to play for me. I said, Mom, I can't play for your church. She said, so you ain't going to play for my church in the basement? You do all that music upstairs. I got plaques on the wall.
Yeah, word.
I got like, you better bring that NPC down. You better bring that NPC down.
But Rock's mom, though, she's going to try and get somebody saved. If they coming over the house,
she go to the house, just saved.
You know Jesus, baby.
Before you need a house, you going to know Jesus.
You're going to know Jesus by the time you get the house, though.
So she said, all right. She said, okay, if you're going to do that, all right then. She said, just understand, all these plaques that's on the wall, you know who gave them to you, right? I said, yeah. No, Jesus gave them to me. I know he did. She said, okay, well, I'm just going to do my church in the basement, and I'm just going to do it. And then you hear her on the phone with my aunt, like, I asked Dana to do some work for me, but, he ain't going to do it.
But, she's trying to give you that guilt trip.
We're going to try to. We're going to try to. We're going to do my 6-year-old nephew. He's going to play the drums, and we just going to sing for the name of the Lord. We'll do it. So Saturday, I'm messed up. I'm downstairs high, just came in the house. I'm looking at the plaques on the wall. I'm like, Jesus did give me these plaques, man. So I tell you, man, I had to bring my motif downstairs every Sunday. I had plaques on the wall. I'm sitting there like this. Jesus loves me.
Rock is playing. You would have caught Rock on Sunday playing in church.
And then
after producer.
And then after church, go outside and be blitted. Go outside like and then Sunday morning, whoever was at my house, whoever was at my house on Saturday, Audacity, got
You
invited
going
to
to church?
Got invited to church on Sunday. So I had all my niggas in the back, high, blitted. My mother preaching to everybody in the basement. I'm sitting there like, this is the day that the Lord has made. I'm high too, like this.
Real.
Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will just blah, 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 and just sit there and be like, dang, this is what I gotta do for the rest of my life. I gotta have hit records upstairs and downstairs. I'm playing for church straight up.
Yeah, we gotta make a movie off your life. For real.
Yeah,
For real.
right?
We're gonna split it with whatever though. We're gonna split it with whatever's documentary though.
Yeah,
like, we gotta do something.
But Rock need his movie.
He does.
His movie.
He does need a movie.
And it gotta start off just like that.
Yo, it was to the point where if anybody flew me out to California to work on music, I would have to say, yo, y'all gotta fly me out on Monday and I gotta be back by Saturday. They were like, Ron, I
gotta go to church.
Like I gotta stop working with Christina Aguilera to go to and play for like 7 people in the church. Look, 7 people in the church.
Man.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
Oh,
The Lord has made. Yeah.
that's true, man. It's true story.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Truth.
So mom didn't care. She said, I don't care how big you get. You better show up at church on Sunday.
Yo, my mother used to call me. My mother used to call me and pray with me in LA, and I'd be on pills, drinking, girls in the bed. My mother'd be like, I didn't pray with you. I got to pray. So I said, Mom, I don't want to pray this morning. I don't want to pray. I don't want to pray. I want to pray. She'd be like, Our Father. I'd be like, Our Father. Lord heaven, all my life, even now to this day. She was calling me just now when y'all was in an interview.
What? She was calling you.
Yes,
that's why you disappeared for a few minutes.
She said you gonna be ready for church tomorrow.
I know, right?
Oh no, now it's different. I'm grown now.
I'm just messing with you.
Now,
you're making my cheekbones hurt.
They coming to church with me. I'm like, because I know everything. I know everything. I went to Bible class 3 times. Everything you're about to preach about right now, I done heard the sermon like somewhere down in my life. So I'm just gonna let you go to church and have a good time. I'm
That's
good
real.
at this shit.
That's real though.
Yeah.
And like my wife, like when it comes down to got to I see her mother's
my mother's a minister, so I can relate.
Oh, so you know.
She can relate 100%.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I can too.
Just recently, it was her birthday, just a couple days ago. So we are all on FaceTime.
Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. I can tell by the way your hair is that your mother was a minister.
Yeah. She is probably
all neat in the back like this, like she ready to sing for the choir. I see it.
Well, let me tell you about the choir. So they were singing in the background, and my niece was like, "Oh, she was like, oh, are they crying right now? Is the choir back there crying?" And she said, "No." She said, "They're singing. They have some good singers." She's like, "No, I think they're crying right now."
It was that bad.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was back in the day. Now let's talk.
No, that just happened a couple days ago when she
really?
said that. That's why she was getting on us. That's why she was getting on us.
Hey, Ma, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Love you. Hey, shout out to you, pops. I love you and everything. I know y'all watching. So, but yeah,
not to blow whatever spot up, but whatever had always said that you had a calling on your life before they gave you your props before you even rap, and said that you was going to be doing it for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he had his moment where he did it. He was a gospel rapper. And the crazy thing is we were in the best of churches. We were in millionaires' homes. You remember that?
Yeah.
In Orlando, we was with millionaires. Yeah. Like, they was like, we want to do the label. We want to do a label. We had went down there on a whim that somebody said they was going to do a label. But when we didn't get that label from the dude that did it, there was millionaires ready to say, all right, we was turning them down because we just didn't want to use their money and mess up their money, but they were offering to give whatever millions of dollars and didn't even know how their return was going to come or nothing. They were
I think whatever told me about that.
Yeah. It spawned off into the other. Yeah, it was amazing, man.
Yeah.
But that's
God's
crazy
grace,
to,
man.
that's
I say that
crazy to
about
walk
rock
away
because
from,
just-
though. That's kind of like, if you think about like kind of Dave Chappelle-ish, like you don't want to go ahead and walk into that and F it up, but you don't know where that's about to take you. Was it the fear?
Yeah.
Was it the
I
fear
told you I
that
never
stopped
really
you?
wanted to, I don't want to play around with the Lord's music like that. You know what I mean? And it's still sacred to this day, but
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
There was this one lady. Remember that lady? That old white lady? And she said, "Yo, she was about to." I remember when Ski lost the ball and Dave was just about to pick it up. She was asking me. She said, "So what is this about this gospel label? Like, what would I have to do?" I said, "Well, we're gonna have to talk to you about this." She was like, "I think I want to do it. Like, he's a great artist. I want to." This lady was a multi-millionaire.
Right.
It was
just crazy.
scary. Yeah, it was crazy.
But it's crazy like that just in general. Like I've ran into people where they just love what we're doing in general. And I was with Wildman Teddy T, and he was like, this guy right here, he's like a millionaire or whatever. But he's like, yo, I watch your show every day. Every time you guys are on, da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Like, but I didn't know. He told me afterwards whom he was. I'm like, okay. I was like, damn, but you don't notice who's paying attention.
That's right.
It's a lot
and it's
people
God's
paying
grace
attention.
and favor, man, that follows y'all. Miss Audacity, got the audacity. Moms is a preacher and a minister, and you understand how that works.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just God's grace covering you.
Yes.
No matter what you do, you put your hand to, and you don't have to be religious about it. You know what I mean?
Nope.
It's just, and that's some things that I've learned also as, being a Christian and stuff like that we don't have to be so religious about it. We'd be surprised how not religious God is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But you realize that it's a covering that you have and a certain grace that you have, to do what you do, and use the platform for good.
Yeah, I realized that he put me in certain situations and different things for me to learn from.
That's right.
And so what I learned, that's something that I keep to me, and I'm like, you know what? I know if I'm in this situation to, do something else now. Okay, I shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't go after that particular, relationship. Maybe, within that industry, maybe I should be over here. But I always let him lead and guide me, and I always ask him to show favor upon me.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't always make sense to us. It's not always the easiest. That's not what he promised, but he always promised he'll be with us and never leave us or mistake us.
Well, one thing I am going to say about my life in the career, God had me in a place to where I was on a bridge looking over at the industry of what the other things that happened. Like I could see myself kind of like in that same like scenario of like looking to the left and the right and seeing what he was keeping you from, and at the same time seeing what it was, because there was some stuff happening over here and over here.
What was your
I was like,
what was your mind frame? I'm sorry to cut you out, cuz, but what was your mind frame around like the Biggie and the Pac stuff? Because you were banging around that.
I was around the Biggie and Pac stuff from the early Redman, so I was still like I knew Biggie. I met Pac twice. I knew Biggie. And I saw it from a perspective of knowing Faith, because Faith was with Big, and I knew Big, and I knew Pac from LA with Redman. So I was still kind of like I felt like I still was getting myself, in this game. But when it became Rockwilder, with the hit record and the rock and the pop and the drugs and the weed and the women and all of that stuff, there was another thing going on that it will suck you in. It will suck you in. And when you make it out of it, most of the time, well, in my situation, like when I tell my kids be like, why you keep saying you old? I'm like, I'm saying I'm old. Like, you don't understand. I want to be old. I want to be old because I don't want nothing of what that was back then, man. Like that was a lifestyle. That was a life lesson. And you grow from that, and you got industry age on your life. Like I'm 50 years old, but in the music game, whether I'm Sean Kemp or whether I'm Jordan, it's still basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you have any did you have any mentors or anything like that like helped you along the way?
Mentors. We learned on our own. Me and Red talk about that to this day. Like the money we spent, the lessons we learned, the situations with bad situations, with scenarios and things that happen with the career, and just the drugs and the weed and the women and just the lifestyle and all of that stuff. It's easy to get caught up. Like you can get caught up, but we talk about all that time. Like I always say this: the hustlers. If you notice, a lot of the people that are successful now are hustlers. Right. People who are actually hustlers in the game. They hustle. You know what I'm saying? And so they've been successful in the streets. So they're successful as that. But the creators and the creatives and the people who come from a whole different category, we learn from a creative standpoint. Like we ain't watching the dollar. We ain't thinking about what's down the road. We're just operating in the moment. Because that's all we have to be creative in the moment. Wow. That's the way I feel about it. But hustlers know how to say, all right, if I'm selling weed in the street and I'm making this amount of money, and then that's why they call it trap music. I never understood why they called it trap music. But the reason why they call it trap music is because the Southern people's description of trap music is, I'm taking my drug money and turning my lyrics into the drugs and staying in the studio, which is the trap. Wow. And I'm just making money. Yeah. Like
that's a jewel right there.
Yeah, because they figure if I go on the street, and this is what it is, trap music.
I'm gonna hustle this.
If I go on the street, I'm gonna be dead or in jail. But if I go in the studio and trap, I'm making money.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
It's smart though. It's a smart vibe, man. It's just messed up the way that the cops, you know what I mean, pick up on it, because the first thing they assume is that everybody is going to go ahead and be that drug dealer. Everybody's got that gun and they're going to go ahead and shoot somebody. But sometimes they got that gun and then, you know what I mean, they got to go ahead and feel they got to prove something to somebody. That's what
it's not necessarily that we have to prove something to the cops. The problem is that the same nostalgia that comes with the streets, if you're trapping in the studio, the crime comes right to the studio too. So the niggas that want your shine and want your paper and want to kill you before you become a star, it comes right into the trap house of your studio too. Yeah. So the cops are left to deal with the rubberish of what happens. But the cops,
that's what's at the shows.
Yeah, the cops are just there to draw the chalk around the problem. But they're not the ones attacking the trap music. They're the ones that are victim to what the trap music becomes from the criminal activity.
Wow.
Because you got to rap about bitches, you got to rap about titties and ass, you got to rap about
shit.
Ride for my niggas. You got to ride. You got to do all of this. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about how you got it. You got to talk about how you trapping. You got to talk about how if a nigga come for it, they're gonna come. They're gonna
get it.
Yeah. You're right.
And what's unfortunate now, and I'm gonna say this and you know, speak my piece on it. But now we got perpetrators of these new kids that seeing they don't want to work for it. They want to clout chase about it and brag about it and speak on it as if they got the same money as the niggas that's trapping. And now they're operating from a whole different fashion. So they're like, send the addy, we gonna slide, send all of this stuff and they type of stuff. And they're making it more of not of the hustling part of it, but more of the demon time of it. They're calling that demon time now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy, bro.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I learned something from that one. That's real too. That's what's happening. It's some real thorough doing. And what you see in the shows and that energy, that's the energy of what's happening. You know what I mean? It's not about the creative, it's about the hustlers. So you're gonna see the extortionists, you're gonna see the hustlers, you're gonna see the gangsters. That's what's surrounded and saturated in the industry. But you're gonna have a pocket a remnant of creatives, true artists, you know what I mean, and artistry. But it just seemed like it's fast food music is because they're hustling.
Yeah.
They're selling it too. You know what I mean?
True.
They're selling the sex, they're selling the drugs, the murder. But that's what it is. And that's L that you broke it down like that.
Yeah.
That's in essence, that's so you can't be mad at that because that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So, question is one of the questions we got from one of the callers is if any new artist wanted to approach you, wanted to create new music with you, what's the best way to go ahead and do it? And mind you, I want to make sure I put down right now, nothing's for free. No matter whatever you get, it's not for free. So if you want a producer to do something for you, you gotta pay. I want to make sure I put that out there before you go ahead and answer your question, sir. Go ahead.
Well, if somebody came to me and wanted to work with me now, and that has happened with a lot of people now, I don't think working with me is a come up now. I think working with me is just an asset to what you've already established in your own career.
Right.
Like I tell a lot of people now that everything is so social media and so hands-on and so the responsibility of your own grind that the fact that you know me or work with me is after the fact. Right. It's not something that I'm going to actually do for you now because you're working with Rockwilder.
It's in the future.
And that's one of the things that I'm happy about too, that I could close my generation of my situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Rockwilder had his generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The same way as somebody coming to Swiss now and Swiss saying, yo, he put this new producer on, the world don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just want to know how effective that kid is. Like London on the track, if Swiss put him out, nobody wouldn't have cared. Right. London on the track is just London on the track. He hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like Boy Wonder. Boy Wonder's a hot producer. Right. However he got put out, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying?
Rockwilder's a hot producer. You know, he got put out, but nobody cares how he got put out there. We just heard that he had just a lot of great music.
Yeah, and my time was my time. Am I going to be 50 years old trying to keep up with Metro Boomin? Hell no, I can't do that. You know
but you know you still got a billion freaking more hits in you. You know what I'm saying? It's
well,
just about when you want to release them.
Yeah, but the hit factor only comes from what you would think is a hit. My hit to me was of early 90s, early 2000s. Those were hits to me. Anything now, if it came out and became a hit, I would sit there and be like, is it a hit? Oh, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it wouldn't
because of the stream. Is it because of the streaming because people weren't buying records anymore? Is that why?
It's because of all right. I remember well, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm not young anymore. I'm older, so it doesn't look like a hit to me. It just looks like an accomplishment. I would be up on stage with the suit on, clapping slow off the accomplishment, not off the hit, because I'll be like, okay, when I was around Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, that was a hit to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Rockwilder, I realized how much of a hit it was now, but Jay-Z, being around Jay-Z was a hit to me. Like, being in Cancun with Mardi Gras was a hit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I have moments of experiences. Yeah, like I have moments of the hits. Like this won't be the hit point right now. This will be me older with another account doing well, and I'm just like, oh well, word, okay, all right.
But I mean, and it's well deserved though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's well deserved. Now, do I want a Metro Boomin hit? No, because it's Metro Boomin's time now. Like it's so many other people's time that like I'm not in the rat race. I'm just like, just happy. I had a great timeline. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like I said, it ain't over yet. I see you doing a lot bigger.
Yeah, but if Shaq got on a winning team right now, would it really matter to Shaq right now if he got on the Sun if he got on Atlanta right now? It wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? He'd be sitting there like this, pass the ball to Trae Young, let him do the shot. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I got where you're coming from. Go ahead. What you about to say? Whatever.
No, I was saying the same thing. You're right.
Yeah,
I
like you know,
agree.
like somebody said.
But you can't put down the greats. Like that's like right now, to be real with you, it's like when we talk about the Kobe, and this is one thing I do have a conversation with all our guests, is the Kobe LeBron, situation. Is like not Kobe, I'm sorry, the Jordan LeBron situation.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to Jordan is the greatest in our eyes because we saw what Jordan did and how he went fluid, like what he did and accomplished. What we see LeBron doing is a lot of accomplishments, and it's like it's not that he hasn't lived up to Jordan potential. It's just that he still got so much more that he's doing. He hasn't even stopped yet, and a lot of people are sitting here just like erasing him out now, like he's done because of this, this past series, and it sucks.
But that's what we do. But we do that though, and I don't understand. I don't understand why society will take us and put us behind the mic and then tell us about how we done and how we not. When they won't do that, they will never say the Rolling Stones is done.
It's true.
You'll never hear Beatles.
Won't.
You never heard the Beatles have. You never heard the Beatles have sold out. You never heard the Beatles wasn't irrelevant. You never heard the Rolling Stones. Oh, such and such died. They're not going to be the same. We're the only culture of people who deal with the word irrelevant, fell off, all of this type of stuff, and we want to say who's hot and who's not. It just bugs me out because like I have to tell people be like, well, Rock, what you been up to nowadays? I said, nigga, what I've been up to, what I always been up to. Listen to the radio, not the radio that you want to listen to. Listen to the radio station that says hottest 100 songs of all time. Exactly. Hottest joints of all, like you gotta put you're looking at where you want to put me on your calendar. I got another calendar. I got one of the hottest records of all time, hottest movie of all time, hottest song of all time, one of the dopest songs of LA. One of like nothing that is gonna be done in your list will ever amount to what the fuck them shits are up there.
That's real. Mm-hmm. That's
real.
So
if I'm able to just feel comfortable and good about my credit card where my joints are, and I'm not irrelevant. I'm not irrelevant because
you're not.
Dude, where I play, you better hope your records play where I play.
Damn right. You got to make it up to that daggone level.
You got to make it up to that. You got to make it up to that level. The Rockwilder nigga, I'm the only nigga with a song named after. If I want to pull the black card out, I pull it out.
He's the only person that got the song. The producer got the song named after him.
Yeah, like dude, like you. That accolade, that you're done. Get out of here. No name. Why nobody's doing no song with nobody's name on it? Dog, come on, dude. Like you could my name. You could search my name. Like, come on, dude. Get out of here. Like, but we do this as people. We'll speak of the irrelevance of something and say, oh, that dude ain't. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like it or not, there's people up there that say he didn't get a chance to do a Jordan run out, but Derrick Rose was probably one of the dangerous niggas when Derrick Rose was out. Nobody could touch Derrick Rose.
Right.
That's right.
And it's true.
Right. Yeah. It's true.
It's just true.
Everybody, Rondo and all of them, they be like, oh, in his prime? Nothing. So it's like, don't sit there and say because he broke his knee, he's irrelevant. No.
Celebrate his accomplishment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right now, right. LeBron may be a little hurt, whatever it is, but
he's still LeBron.
Everybody's so used to him going and not just stopping. They just used to him going to the end and not giving up. So when he stopped that one time or whatever, they just like, oh, it's over. He gave up. That's it. It's not, man. The brother needed a daggone break, man. The man was running through COVID. You know what I mean? Everybody's been through a lot, man, these past 2 years. So people got to go ahead and give the people a freaking, a proper chance to go ahead and get themselves right. Listen, let me ask you a question real quick, Rock. Look at
we ain't heard from you in a minute. You listening to the wrong channel, nigga. Turn to one of the pop channels. You'll hear me all day.
When you look at what happened with the Asian tennis player, she needed time. If Serena tried to do that or Venus tried to do that, it'd have been a whole media spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not cool. But it's like she's making a
not.
change and what's going to go on from now and ever. Like, then these girls went ahead and went through all the BS and still became champions. But I'm not saying, I'm not taking anything away from her because she need her time because she needs to make sure she's okay. You feel me?
You know what bugs me out about, and it's kind of like a sidebar off the thing. When Mick Jagger directed Get On Up by James Brown,
right?
He directed that.
Mm-hmm.
He never spoke of James Brown's problems. He didn't let the film end on his downcline. He let the film end on what he continued to do.
Correct. Yeah.
Why did it take a white director
I agree.
to take one of our black people and say, yo, listen, he continued to make hits among hits and kept the movie ending in his accomplishment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't worry about people's personal lives, man. I don't think that should go ahead and direct they daggone artistic views or the artistic motives in their music, man. You can't just take away from what they created. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, what last radio station have you heard that played the person's album when they came up to be interviewed?
Strong Arm Radio.
Wait.
Yeah,
Other than
I
Strong
will
Arm Radio.
wait.
Strong Arm, I don't know.
I will wait. They will talk about relationships,
Yes.
the drama,
Yes.
who they fucking with, and
Yes.
piss them off. And the people will be like, I came up here to promote my album, man.
Right.
Play the album.
Play the album.
Let the people call in and talk about the album.
Exactly.
Oh, people don't want to hear about that now. They want to hear about gossip because y'all fuel it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. See, we about those accomplishments, man, and we got to give you the roses while we can. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so sad where, like, I honestly, being on some real stuff, I honestly expected for me and DMX to go ahead and have a conversation here, to be honest with you, because I ran into DMX so many daggone times, but the first time I actually met DMX was on the Hard Knock Life tour. And just the impact from him just being DMX, you know, it was cool. But as I got older, you know, I ran into him once or twice and, you know, a couple of different things. And then it was one time I actually, I was checking him in. I was working at the airport and I was checking him in. And DMX gave him his ID, everything. He gave me his ID. I was checking him in. And then I couldn't check him outside. So I had to take him inside. And while I went inside, you know, I ended up having a seizure. So I just passed out, boom. So I don't know exactly what happened after that point other than all the accounts that everybody else told me. So everybody else was like, all right, well, DMX caught you, right? So after he caught me, you know, he called the ambulance. So now, mind you, all these other people work around me. Nobody called 911. Nobody did none of this. DMX did all this, right? So he went ahead, he called, you know, 911. They came. And then when I came to, I was inside the ambulance. When I look up, there's a person sitting down next to me and it's X. I'm like, and he's like, yo, you know, you all right? You good? Doug, you good? You know how X is. And then
that's like, one of the most amazing stories ever.
I'm not even finished, Rock. I'm ain't finished. Check this out. So he was like, yo, he said, all right, you know, he's like, he gave me a hug, you know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? I love you, all that. And then he gave me his phone number, and then he's like, yo, call me, you know what I mean, when you get home, so I know you good, you know what I mean? And that was it, you feel me? Dude. Then I called, you know, I talked to, you know what I'm saying, his manager and stuff at the time, and she was like, yo, you know, X is praying for you and making sure you good, da, da, da. But that was, you know,
that's
that's crazy, man. That blew my mind.
Right, and it's just like he's touched so many different people's lives that people can't even understand and feel, bro. Because not only that, I had other conversations with X and you know a little other stuff, but just at that time it was just him going out of town and boom, that just happened to me, and he was just there for me. You feel me? So I appreciate that brother for doing that, man. And I expected for me to have that conversation with him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, man, we lost a great one, man. And
Definitely a great one.
So, but let me get off of that. But like I'm sure, Rock, you touched so many people's lives. I'm sure whatever you touched so many daggone people's lives, man, and made changes in people's lives. And people don't get the opportunity to see the type of things that you do because you don't have to show it on social media. You don't have to tell everybody what you do for your community or what you are doing, for your people, because it's your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's great that you guys are doing that, and I gotta commend you guys. I gotta go ahead and give you guys your flowers while it is this time to do it, man, because we never know what's not promised for tomorrow, and you know what I mean. That's just what it is, man. Unfortunately,
respect.
So, but it's it's real, man. I like you guys. I'm happy that y'all you both are here on Behind Backstage, man. This is a great convo that we had today, man, and I know I want to ask you a couple things about networking, but just having the two of you guys connecting here with us today was just awesome, man. And the stories and everything else. I know we're gonna have a lot more to talk about when you are here in the studio. But man, I want to make sure I thank everybody that's a part of all this, man. Strong Arm Radio, Freezy, Florida, man, Rick Petty, man, everybody, Wildman Teddy T. Reggie Mathis, everybody, man, that's a part of Strong Arm, man. Diva, Miss Blue, everybody like that, man. I gotta make sure I give the love to the people that deserves it. So before we get out of here, man, I need one of you guys, well, both of you guys, go ahead and tell me one greatest moment that you experienced in hip hop, and I'm gonna give it to whatever first, and I'm gonna give it to you, Rock. And then I still got to ask you these networking questions, and we out of here.
Oh.
Greatest moment in hip hop. Jeez. Man, you caught me off guard with that one. I just think that I think just the fact that it's been able to sustain, I mean, to continue to go on this long, just the fact of this art form. This is an art form that we've created and cultivated,
right?
For so many years, and just from where it's come from. I think it was a different time when we were starting it, and I was looked up to Redman at that time, and then happened to meet Rockwilder. You know what I mean? Because I heard he was some hot young producer that I was working with, like my idol at the time. You know what I mean? And so that was just a vibe. That was the moment. And just to see that it continues on, and yeah, although I put on a suit and I changed my hat, I still love hip hop. It's still a part of my DNA, and I'm so happy that there are the artists like Jay-Z that can continue to evolve and grow and mature and talk about something and spit game, in a record. You know what I mean? And so being able to see him and Nas collaborate and do that joint that they did on Khaled. That's dope to me. You know what I mean? To see the Rick Ross is just, I met Ross down there. You know what I mean? I met Pitbull down there.
Right there with UB. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Pitbull. We was in the studio with Pitbull, Rick Ross. Like, it was another person. I was like, I know somebody else there that was there that night with me.
Yeah. I was there. Yeah, definitely.
It was with Pitbull, Rick Ross. It was all types of people that was inside the studio. Deuce Bobby. Shout out to Big Slab. It's so many different people that was a part of different things that happened for Miami and just music in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think that just everything as a whole, I think just the evolution of hip hop, and it's going through its moment. And I know we have a certain sound that's right now, but I think I truly, honestly still believe in the integrity of it and of the music. And I believe that it evolves. And that's what, look at all of those artists on your wall behind you. You know what I mean? And so
bro.
It continues to grow. I don't think that it's ever going to become, we can say it's stagnant because we always want to remember where we are at our moment, and our moment was the best, so on and so forth. But I believe that it continues to evolve, man. And so, looking at 50 right there and Eminem right there, that was one of my endless times that I forgot to tell you. I was out there performing with 50 in Detroit. And going through the regular show. And then he does that song with Eminem, and Eminem just pops out and says, I never met him before, never seen him before in person. and I'm doing his hype man, and Eminem's walking up behind me doing this part, and it's just going bananas, that whole pandemonium. You know, it's just moments like that. Moments when we grew up in Hollis, Queens. You know what I mean? It was nothing to see LL Cool J or Run DMC or DMC, I would say, driving down the block with a caddy, all the windows down, bumping. I mean, music crazy loud, and he got like 1,000 of those little yellow Villa Roma car freshness.
Yeah.
You can smell that joint for like 2 blocks down. Like, it's just moments. You know what I mean? And I love that it continues because although I'm in a totally different field where it's like stuffy white guys wearing suits, I love the fact that hip hop keeps me young. I'm looking at Jay-Z on your wall. That dude's still young.
Yeah.
50, whatever, however old he is, the dude still got swag. He's still young.
You know, you even got the Migos. You know, you got
even to the Migos, man. I rocks with that, man. I love that sound. So you know, and it transcends just hip hop music because we've created some great music overall. But I think that I'm just so amazed at the evolution, and I like to still be attached to it, regardless of where I am, what I'm doing. I am hip hop. That keeps me in tune. That keeps me on the edge. That keeps me wanting to hustle, wanting to grind, wanting to achieve more and accomplish more, regardless of what circle I'm in. So I'll step up the soapbox, but that was pretty much, you know. You got me going now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what's up, man. This is like honestly, like when it comes down to behind backstage, this is what it's about, man. It's not about anybody feeling uncomfortable. It's about everybody just being themselves and expressing themselves how they feel and their stories, man, that needs to be told, man. And then the people that help them get there, bro, the managers, the producers, the engineers, all these different people that help that person become that well-oiled machine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because nobody can go ahead and do that overnight just being them. You know what I'm saying? You need a team. You need somebody to help you. You know what I mean? So that's, you know, I wanted to make sure I left it with that because, you know, that's just how I feel. That's what's up.
Yeah.
But what was that last? I mean, I wanted to make sure I give you that.
Rock was supposed to tell his greatest moment.
Oh yeah, that is. It's Rock's turn.
Oh, Rock's turn. I'm gonna speak for
Greatest
whatever in
moment.
myself on this one because whatever came said a little bit, but man, our stories of what we've become to this day, of how we are a part of it, we have moments, man.
Right.
We have moments that there's niggas on my block wish they had, and I saw them wishing that they had it when we was experiencing.
Right.
Wow.
I saw them. There's niggas that's with us now, dude, that celebrated with us, but never really understood how it felt for us to be us.
Wow.
Like I look at, you know when it gets real for me? I don't know why, but when I go in my laundry room and I look at my detergent and I look at the soap and detergent, y'all be like, yo, I made it.
Yeah, got tied.
Yo, I swear to God, yo, like
that niggas
like,
ain't got game no more.
Niggas
ain't got game no more. We good.
And I'm checking out groceries. I be like, yo, when I check out grocery and I'm walking to my truck with the grocery, I be like, yo, I made it. It be those moments because these are the moments that people wish that, yo, I buy what I want. My kids get what they want. My kids, I live where I want to live. I'm in Atlanta right now off my publishing and royalties in an apartment because I want to get a crib. I just don't know where I want to get a crib. You know how many people in my family, my niggas, and dudes that didn't reach 40, that damn near came across hard times and I had to listen to my nigga. There's one nigga right now, I ain't gonna blow him up. One of my friends, he called me ready to talk about how he didn't make it. You know what I had to tell him? I said, yo, son, I'm 50 years old. I can't have that conversation with you no more.
Right.
I can't talk to you about what didn't happen for you. Right. You gotta talk to me about kids. You gotta talk to me about where we at now, because I can only relate to you right now according to my son running around here, or how our wives are doing, or how our girls are doing. How like we got to talk at this level.
Exactly.
I can't talk about 30 years old no more.
No.
If you at 30 years old and we had this conversation at 30 and you didn't make it rock, and I'm 50 right now, I can't talk.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Right.
Because all you're gonna do is gonna have me like this.
It's gonna bring you down, though.
And I said, my dude, I said, what your problem now is you.
Yep. You gotta grind it out yourself, bro.
It's too many opportunities.
It's too many opportunities now.
But still, when I get off the phone with him, I'm like, Dad, he didn't make it. He's still at 30. I got niggas at 40 that didn't make it at 40. I got niggas with the same beat machines in front of my joint that didn't make nothing.
But guess what? That dude at 30 still can make it at 40. He could still make it at 50.
He still can.
That's right.
But it won't be my call to do it.
No, it's not your call. It's his grind. It's his grind.
Yeah. So I look at the bus stop sometimes, and I say to myself, God bless them people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't gotta stand at no bus stop no more.
Right.
Yeah.
I stood at a bus stop when I was supposed to stand at the bus stop. I don't stand at no bus stop. No disrespect to the people that stand at bus stops, but look at where God puts you.
Exactly.
I'm walking in the store. People say, yo, how do you feel about the price of gas? I'm like, I never had to know because I never checked the gas.
I know who checks gas prices.
I'm always able to put a 20 in my tank. But you got people that's watching it from the gallon. They're like, yo, I can't. I be listening to them and they be like, Rock, how do you feel about gas? I'm like, I don't know. I always got it. Hey, not bragging. I just don't know. I always got it.
But it's understandable because you worked hard to put yourself in that predicament,
You know what's funny though? I didn't work hard. You know what I did? I stayed in the studio. I didn't work hard. I stayed in the studio. You know why I stayed in the studio? Because my father, Ernest Lee Stinson, the only thing I had, we never talked about life. We never talked about how he felt about me as a son, and I never spoke to him about how I felt as a dad. I just watched this man sweep the floor at a lumber yard and went from sweeping the floor to becoming one of the best lumber cutters in the yard.
Right.
That's all I had as a mentorship. Wow. And my curse was, look around me. Everything I cut lumber with. Everything that I cut lumber with is still around me, to the point where my daughter had to come and say, Daddy, stop. You've cut lumber for 30 years.
Right.
But I didn't work hard, dog. I just, Ernest Lee Stinson Sr., God rest his soul, showed me at that point that he could sweep the floor and become one of the biggest lumber cutters in the yard. Because when I got in front of this beat machine, you know what I said? If my father could sweep the floor and become one of the best lumber workers, I'm going to touch these pads and become one of the best producers in the game.
That's real, bro.
I said that, and I touched that pad.
And that was
and
your
now
passion.
look at the pad.
Here got 30,000 of them.
Because when I got in front of my first beat machine, I looked at that beat machine. I didn't know how that shit worked. I said, I said, my father swept the floor and became one of the biggest lumber people in the game. I'm gonna get on this machine and learn from that one pad how to work this whole machine, and I ain't gonna stop till I become one of the dopest producers in the game.
Man, that's what's up, bro. And guess what you did?
I said that at somebody's house on somebody else's beat machine.
And you became that. You willed yourself that way. You willed yourself, like you spoke it into existence.
Yes. Wow. The books. See what I'm saying about the books?
Yeah.
If I would have read those books, I would have knew what was happening. It would have been better towards a lot of things had I knew.
You didn't have an explanation for what you were doing.
I didn't have no explanation. Yeah. So I would say the thing that my moment is where it is now. Like when I look at myself on the wall now, like I say to myself, "Oh wow, I made it. I made it." But it's not until I see the things that most people would worry about that I don't worry about is where I really feel
comfortable.
Where I really feel it.
Right. Now,
You know what I'm saying?
let me ask you a question, because I mean, as you being as great as you are, going through the experience of witnessing what happened with George Floyd and all that debacle. Unfortunately, that's what's going on with all of us in our inner circle, not just inner circle, excuse me, but our community. How do you feel like? What can we do, maybe possibly to change it, or what do you think we can do, man? Because it's getting effed up now. The only thing we know is, to do the yes sir, yes ma'am type thing, man. We can't fight back because we don't want to get shot. So what can we do to, what I mean, be okay?
You want mine first, whatever, because mine's a little bad. You want to do yours first? you want to put the 30-day into yours, because I'm coming with straight dark clouds and thunder. I'm sorry.
What you got?
Mine is not going to be dark clouds and thunder. It's just going to be, man. I think that it's a lack of hope. I don't think there's much hope out there. So I feel that, I think at the core of it, that's what we need as individuals. I think that's what we need as a community, and there's definitely issues that's going on. It's been going on for a very long time. It's been going on since biblical times, you know what I mean? And I guess that's where I start to veer towards the spiritual aspect of it, because I know that these things are spiritual things, and what we're seeing right now is only a result of things that's been happening spiritually for a long time. And so right. I don't know if there's going to be a protest. I don't know if there's going to be an outlash or one person or one leader that's going to be able to solve these issues. As a collective, I think that we need hope. And I think that the hope is, in my opinion, only comes from one place. But,
don't we got, hold on.
I don't think that it's going to be
hey, what? I'm sorry to cut you off, fam.
You can't interrupt us, you actors. You can't interrupt us, you actors.
But shouldn't we have enough people out there when it comes down to some people? You know how you go ahead and you be able to write in your music, but you may not be able to do it in political ways. You feel me?
Sure.
But you got the opportunity to voice your opinion. You got the opportunity to move people. You have the opportunity to change people's objections to certain things, whatever it may be. Do you think that it's up to artists to go ahead and start taking responsibilities from them platforms now to like, you know what I mean? I don't want to, like, me personally, I don't want to put it on the artist. It's just like now somebody's got to stand up, because like we used to have.
But if you're an artist that doesn't believe that, then why not? That's what I'm asking.
Huh?
But if you're an artist that doesn't truly believe that, you know what I mean? You can say, I'm not the role model, but guess what? What do you feel? You know what I mean? And what is your social responsibility? If you don't feel like you have a social responsibility, then I think that that's wrong. You know what I mean? I think that a person should. If you're a father, if you're a husband, there should be a certain integrity to each person. If you're saying if that's such a huge responsibility to be that person at the same time, then I think that's a problem. Even Tupac and all of his certain ways that may not have been so, that may not have been politically correct.
Right.
At his core, he was a person that wanted to see the upliftment and the forward progression of people. You know what I mean? And I just leave it at that, man. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that.
All right. So you go with it, like, if you became, the next pop star, you became the next Drake in a sense, what would you do to go ahead and help change what's going on with society?
I would say in one aspect, you could put your money where your mouth is. I think that a voice means something, but I can understand a person that being, Michael Jordan is a person that you don't necessarily see, but he's done a whole lot. I just found that out. He's done a lot for the city of Charlotte. I just found that out a couple of days ago. I'm like, man, Michael Jordan's in your city. Do you ever hear? We never hear him We never see him anywhere. He doesn't do press conferences, but he opened 2 hospitals.
My homie said that, you know, his mom does a lot of, you know, the work for Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's, you know, a part of it. But I mean, him being that type of person and all the money we spent with him, like, he should have stuck up for the community back then. But unfortunately, it's a different day. It's a different time. We can't stick on those daggone old things. So, like, now, man, what's the change, bro?
I think that we just need to. I think that we need to evolve as a people to where I think there's more conversations of, like you said, giving people their roses while they're still alive. That's one aspect of it, because if we still have the crabs in the barrel mentality, I think that, you know, media has a huge part to play, but we can't leave it on media to do that. I think that as individuals, we have to have a certain aspect of philanthropy, just being able to give back, being socially conscious, being able to use our platforms to for the greater good. And that may not be your bag. That may, you may not be one of those advocates, may not be one of those spokesmen for particular causes, but I do feel that there's so many social injustices. I feel that there's so many social issues going on in the world that, you know, even if you are not the person that's that vocal about it, I think that you need to be able to put your bread behind it. I think you need to be supportive of certain causes. And, you know, I would say that. You know,
I understand that. I can't knock you for that, brother, because you know what I mean, you said a lot. You said a lot there. And Rock, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, he gave the nice the nice aspect of
I gave the Martin Luther King version.
He gave the Martin Luther King version. So, what would you suggest, my brother?
There's no suggestion. It's not gonna happen. We ain't gonna get together.
Huh?
We ain't gonna get together. It's gonna get worse. Evil has to run its course, and we are in a box, operating, and the box is controlled by the higher. There's no way. When them niggas walked in Capitol building, it got real for me.
Right.
When that happened.
I believe that.
When they walked into that Capitol building, I went like this. Okay. I realized.
It was like everything was bullshit, right?
It was like everything.
It was like everything was bullshit.
Everything that I ever held for or hoped onto or grabbed onto or some wake up everybody or someday we'll all be free. I was like, nah, that's
bullshit.
This lets you know that them niggas could walk in that building with them Confederate flags.
But if it was us,
hold up.
Ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold up. No. I ain't saying hold up to you. I'm saying hold up to the door. The door at the Capitol building.
Okay.
They went. They didn't even pick the lock. They opened it, moved the cop aside, and said, "Hold up," with a Vikings helmet, and said, "Hold up. We have a problem. What's going on here? Look. They're in the Senate's room.
Chambers. They're in the Senate chambers, bro.
And they up there with the flag like this in the chair with their feet up on it.
How did they get so close though? Like we couldn't get off the airplane and get 2 blocks close to the White House before they would have stopped us.
But check this out. Whether they did it willfully or whether this whack ass America is trying to set something up to show us something to make us blindsided of what the advantage is or probably isn't, or what they want us to see to blow our minds. Right. See, that's the thing that behind the action of what we see, there's 10 minds behind. There are 10 minds behind the whole activity of what they're doing. Yeah, if they took that to show you that, we just gonna blow their brains out and let them people go up in the office and just let them think that they have charge just to always provide that superiority to put us in fear. That's we gotta look. We can look at it 2 ways. We can look at it in a way of saying it got out of control, whatever. Or we could look at it in a way of saying, look at them trying to show us that no matter what, to our eyes, you will always see white supremacy as a leader,
Right.
as a like. So what are you deceiving us?
No.
Or are you just showing us something that got out of
They're
control?
they're showing us their power. That's
They're showing us their power, but in a
power.
deceptive way to where we will always be in fear of our 3.5%.
But they're trying to like make it seem like this shit never happened. That's the one thing that
Yeah. See, that's the
everything,
point. That's
like-
why I say at Newkirk. That's why I say we ain't gonna get right, because even when we try to get right, y'all niggas steer the narrative. Y'all, all right, George Floyd. I thought I said that's a lynching, and the world is gonna change.
Right.
That is a straight lynching.
I promise you, I felt the same way.
Yeah, and then I started looking
it's about to be different.
and then I started looking in Derek Chauvin's face, and I'm like, and somebody said this. I was like, were you the pawn? And was George Floyd the pawn? Because I'm looking at this dude's face, and homeboy don't look like he look like he ain't got a soul. This nigga look like he ain't got a soul.
He was
and I'm sitting
smiling
there
left
looking
and
at
right,
George
dude.
Floyd, and I'm looking at George Floyd, and I'm like, did y'all just do this as a distraction? And at the same time, George Floyd, we have a bill that y'all still ain't signed. Y'all didn't approve birds, transgenders,
birds,
don't disrespect,
everything
but
else.
y'all done passed mad bills. This bill of a straight lynching has not been passed yet by the dude that we put in office. By the dude that we put in office, he's like, well, you know, we can't sign.
No, wait. Hold on, mind you, he had an Asian. It was an Asian bill.
Yeah, the Asian bill.
Non-violence Asian bill or something like that that passed. But they didn't do. They could have been did this for black folks.
They could have been did this one. Now check this
what's
out.
going
I'm
on?
going to say this, and I'm going to say this. I will say this. Not a lot. For in fear of my life.
Let me stop you. I'm not stopping. I'm stopping you then.
No. I will say this. I honestly feel like Trump was good for this country.
For the country.
Because only because of this. Okay. Not for the undermined stuff that was already happening that they put him in office to be the guinea pig for.
Right.
I'm talking about for the things that he pulled out of America to say, yeah, these niggas is full of it. The media is full of it. Yeah, that's happened over here. Yeah, these guys do this over here.
They needed a regular. What you trying to say? Basically, they needed a regular person to go ahead and say, "Oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit." Da da da. That's a whole bunch of.
All right. When Trump first got behind the front, and look, whatever put his face on, he didn't put his face on there. Look, it's funny. But look, for whatever said, I'm getting out of here. Look, I'm saying this. I'm gonna put Audacity up here too, because she got put everybody's face up here right now. I'm gonna say this. Everybody's face I'm gonna put up in there.
Whatever ran away. Whatever ran away.
Yeah, I'm gonna put everybody's face up here. Whatever. Put your face up here. Put your face up here. Whatever.
Ran away on us.
Put your face up here. Everybody, and I'm gonna say this like this. At first, when Trump was in office, didn't everybody say, "Damn, a lot of shit that I would say, he's saying it. I just can't believe he's saying it behind the podium." Didn't everybody feel that way?
There's a lot of people that felt that way, but it was more racist white people that felt that way.
Hold on.
Oh, it's racist black people too. Don't get it twisted.
But what did we just see? What did we just see with the Capitol building? Did we see racism at its finest?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
So all right. So when a man comes up there and speak exactly how this world operates, as soon as we get a pure description of how America operates in one man, because he's the money, he's the evil, he's the asshole, he's the everything of what this country is, we're going to sit there and have a problem with him because it's too much asshole coming.
Yeah, it's too true. It's too true. Right.
All right, look, he builds a wall.
Yeah.
We all know we want to keep all the rapists and everything. We don't want to keep everybody out. The people that got their cards, Let's keep them here. And the people that don't got their cars that want to be here and want to do a right thing for this country, let them do that. But them niggas that's coming here, that's doing the wrong thing, do we or do we not want the wall? Yes, we do. We just didn't think it was going to be an actual wall.
Right.
but in our minds, we're like,
I
damn, the bullshit does come from overseas. Right or wrong?
Most of the stuff was most of the things that came out of it. It wasn't right. Mexicans. Let's make sure we clarify that it wasn't Mexicans.
And also media. When he was like, "Sit down, you don't like me anyway," and your media always popping false propaganda of me anyway. Sit down. I'm not even answering your questions. Next question, such and such. We all know that the media is full of shit. He sat there and just told you that it was full of shit. He told you that all right with the election. He'll sit there and say, the election was rigged. We're like this. Trump, get out of here. The election was rigged. I started doing that, right? And then someone said to me, what if it was? What if it really was rigged? What if it really was rigged? And now we have Biden here, and Democrats are allowing everything to pass over. And look what Biden is doing right now to us right now with this George Floyd bill. We put him there.
He should be passing this George Floyd bill. I agree with you. It should be that George Floyd bill's got to get passed. No matter
whatever, don't you take your speed though. Whatever, you better take your phone. What's
that?
I'm gonna say this. And look. Now this. Look. Now the wall. Now hold on. Now the wall has came down, and what's happening now? People are now coming through the wall, through the holes, everything and stuff, to the point where Kamala don't even want to go down to the wall because it's such a misrepresentation of what they were saying they was against. They saying that wall is now out of control. Wow. People are crawling over it, under it, around it. People,
but they was already doing half of that shit. They was already doing half of that shit anyway. It was already going down. It's just that he put more of a highlight on it though. Like he put more of a highlight on it by him trying to build a wall, but it didn't stop anything. It's just we building a wall. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not going to stop anything until they go ahead and figure out how to actually stop these coyotes and all these terrorists, whatever it may be, to go ahead and bring these people over from the country that's not, legally documented. But some people need to go ahead and create a new life too, man. And that's what America's supposed to be about.
I totally agree with that. But here's my thing in my closing.
Let's go.
In my closing, I say this. This world operates in a effed up way.
Yeah.
We don't get our rights. We saw what happened with the Capitol building. We also see how they try to make television look to us to like, all right, let's make them scared of this. And then when they concentrate on this,
I want to say something.
Let somebody go into a supermarket and shoot up 100 people.
I want to say something.
Over here. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of that, like that scare tactic. Like, I don't like the way they do that.
Right. Like that is one way they're doing with TV, but then also they're portraying so much LGBT like stuff out there that I'm not saying that you're free to do whatever you want to do with yourselves, but when you put so much out there, it's not about it just being accepted. People are supposed to accept you for who you are.
Yes.
But when you're putting so much out there for people to consume in every single TV show, every single show, it's something now that I have nothing wrong with people doing that. But I mean, I'm sorry, I have nothing wrong with people being gay, whatever that may be. But the way it seemed like they're pushing it onto like the kids and everything else, like they're trying to grow up to understand who they are. Yes. Now you're forcing them to understand that this is what is okay for them, but it may not really be okay for them. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're making it more of a glorification than actually
exactly. And I can't like my daughter's sixth grade right now, and then they did the sex ed thing, and then she came and was like, "Daddy and mommy, y'all nasty." But the whole thing is it's it's education, but then when it gets to a point of the understanding of what should be taught, I'm not talking about schools or anything like that, but what is being already presented by the TV themselves, the cartoons, man, they're putting it in Disney. Like, it's nothing wrong with being okay with something, but don't throw it in somebody else's face. Allow them to get time to go ahead and adjust to whatever it may be. It's like, this is what it's got to be right now. So, I'm not knocking anybody. I love everybody. Everybody that has whatever they want to, do, man. It is what it is. But Rock, man, again, I gotta go ahead and thank you.
You're welcome.
I gotta thank you for you going ahead and you just being yourself and being honest with everyone. Question I do want to ask you, when it comes down to networking, right? Do you think it's the best to go ahead and network with producers or people, the producers, radios, DJs? Who you think are the best people you should keep a connection with when it comes down to artists?
Whatever's in your creative space. Whatever's in your creative space. Like, I've been blessed to create, to be networked with a lot of great young producers. Like, I check this station that I go to called Overlord Radio with my boy Overlord and Kelsey and all of them. And there's a community right there that they embrace me and I embrace them. And the respect is there, and it's just amazing how that happens. But it also comes along with just the zone that you're in, the frequency that you're in. It just attracts it.
That's what's up, man. A lot of artists wish they can go ahead and have an opportunity to go ahead and work with you, and you've given a lot of different people opportunities to do things like that. From some different contests, from beat contests to a lot of different things. What made you go ahead and choose to do those things, or what were you trying to do at that time?
It just came with the fellowship, man. It just came with the fellowship and the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people to say no to anything, because I feel like every opportunity is a great opportunity according to what you've been blessed to be. So, to the person that doesn't have not one network facilitated for himself, to the person that has a great network place, you know what I'm saying? You don't know who's who in this day and age. So the person that you could be turning down could be the next person.
So do you believe?
So I look at that like somebody gave the chance to me. Like somebody gave me a chance. I spoke to you about how Redman could have turned me down because I didn't know nobody. Right. He didn't know who I knew when he put me on, but he put me on and gave me a chance. So I do that. I do that with everybody who I come in contact with.
So when I ask this question, do you believe it's who you know in the industry or what you know in the industry? You say who?
I believe it's both, because what I knew allowed me to be. If I didn't have that tape that day of what I knew, I couldn't be connected with who to know. Right.
Okay.
So I knew music. I knew music to know somebody that knew music to make the success, start its seed.
Right. Okay. Tell us about a time in music when a connection led you into a moment of your success in life.
I would say the first day I had anything to. The first time I've actually manifested any music on an album or anything, that's when it came. Because, tell you the truth, the goal is to have one hit record. Right. A hit record. One. Like, I was talking to this white guy out in LA. He was a big time record executive. He said, sir, so Rockwilder. He said, how do you feel about your career? I said, Dad, I had a great career, but I feel like there's more to do. He said, well, how many hits do you feel you have? I said, well, I honestly could say I have 4 hits that are really, he said, congratulations, because the key was to having a hit.
Yeah.
One.
He said the key was to have a hit record.
Wow. So how long did it take for you to actually realize that you had that? Like, I mean, of course, you had your hit records, you rolled with Redman, you did your thing, that you realized you were really Rockwilder, that you were that person. I heard, before I let you answer that, I just heard a conversation with Mary J. Blige when she said 2016 is when she actually realized that, she was Mary J. Blige. And all the other BS she was going throughout that time. But 2016 is when she really realized she was Mary J. Blige, and I can go ahead and be about whatever, you know?
I think mine was that when the accolades came, when people started looking at what I had done, and I started seeing the things that I had done have such these different type of images to me, like how high, like when how high comes on, like I just be like, wow, music score by Rockwilder. I'm like, wow, that's not no matter what happens, that's not going nowhere. That's there. Like the Red and Meth song, the Rockwilder, when I see how people feel about that song, I'm just like, wow, that's not changing. That's not gonna change.
Never.
Or do it again, or oh no, or You Came Up by Big Pun. You know, and then the classic albums I'm on with 50 Cent, with Like My Style and Do You Think About Me, but then Lady Marmalade and then Dirty by Christina. It's like the things that it becomes is when you start realizing like that. So it basically means, every time I feel like I got more to do, I got to start looking at what I done and say, wow, look what you've done, you know?
Right.
It took me a long time to realize that my generation of my work existed in a generation, and when I reached.
Do you think it's over? Like you think your generation of creating is over? I'm not talking about you, period, as creating, but your generation of some of the producers that started with you are kind of over now, and you have to go ahead and reinvent yourself to go ahead and become that next producer.
Well, it's like Czar. Like when Czar came out, everybody loved what Czar did. Was Czar going to do 1 billion downloads, 1 billion streams, like most of these other records do? I don't know. But the thing is that you got to respect where your generation lies. You got to respect what your generation does to hip hop now. So I'm a realist about everything. So I don't ever feel like, as there's some artists right now that still feel like they got to go get the crown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a crown for what I do and what I've done, and I feel like that crown is a crown. It's like I remember watching basketball, and they said, although you have the Jordans and you have the Kobe's, Derrick Rose is still not one to be slept on. I said this before. You know what I'm saying? Or Allen Iverson, or Sean Kemp.
Right.
Or Dominique Dawkins. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I hold the Dominique Dawkins or Sean Kemp or Iverson role. You know what I'm saying? You know, I created the Rockwilder. Iverson created the crossover.
We don't have those same players. We don't have those type of inbreed of players anymore. The players we have now are, I don't want to say I'm soft at all, but they're just a different breed of players. And the refs too, because the refs call every call. So it's a different, it's a different game. So what I want to exist right now in this game. If I was a new artist, nope. If I was a new producer, I would hate where it is now. But that all depends on how I would feel jumping into this industry. But at the same time, I wouldn't probably want to feel. I probably wouldn't want to be in this industry right now. You know what I'm saying? I love what my industry was. Right.
I love my part of it. You know what I'm saying? So my part of it was fun. I love what Do It Again was.
Right.
And as opposed to what Niggas in Paris is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's amazing, man. Shout out to Sound Oracle, since he just said Niggas in Paris. I want to shout out Sound Oracle because he's sound designed a lot of Timberland sounds.
Sound Oracle is dope, man. I can't wait till I get the chance for him to I be on his IGs and stuff, but I can't wait to really link with him and stuff like that.
We had an amazing interview with Sound Oracle.
He right there. He right there in Atlanta.
He right there in Atlanta, man. You're probably right around the corner from each other right now.
Don't tell me something. Oh man, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna see him.
Yeah, but matter of fact, let's try to connect that then. Since you already there, let's do that. Real. Like that's what I want to make sure I'm able to go ahead and do, is give the opportunity for just people to grow, make connections, and us build. You know what I'm saying? As people, man. And when it comes down to this culture, bro, it's a lot, not just to me, but just to everybody that's went ahead and had the opportunity to go ahead and be a part of this hip hop culture, bro. Like when they said it wouldn't be anymore, it is what it is. Like when I said to EFN, he said I already knew it would have went this far, but I knew it would have went further. You know, he's on with my man is on with Nori right now with his show, you know. And again, like I said, we gotta get you on Drink Champs, man. Shout out to Noriega, shout out to Dagon DJ EFN. And man, we gotta get Rockwilder on Drink Champs, man. You ready, Rock?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready to go on Drink Champs. I'm ready to do it.
All right, so we'll get you on Drink Champs. But yeah, man, again, brother, one other what's the other thing? I said, if you would choose one tip to give your younger self, what would it be?
Humility.
Humility.
Humility is strength, man. You know, being humble allows you to listen, and being humble allows you to be molded.
Okay.
I think humility was my saving grace in this game.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you. You know, from afar and in front of you, and just how you go ahead and treat not just the people around you, but other people around you. You give everybody love. So,
well, that's Redman. Redman organized Confusion, Shake, God rest his soul. You know what I'm saying? Khalid. You know what I'm saying? Damian Hall, Play from Kid and Play. These were all blueprints for me when it came to artists. You know. They Play opened his door to me and had me under his wing. Shake, had me under his wing. Mm-hmm. Khalid was my best friend. We saw success happening right there. Damian Hall, with Guy and Q-Tip and Fife and Jerobi and the bus that we used to ride on all the time. And I was surrounded by so much great energy of the industry, and it always made it look like as if when you make it, when you make it, it's nothing but a train ride, a book bag with a bunch of tapes and batteries, and headphones. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Q-Tip was riding the train with headphones and a book bag, and he was Q-Tip. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Redman was in, driving E's Forerunner because E gave him the Forerunner. You know what I'm saying? Because that's so it all. I always saw love. I always saw I never saw arrogance. I never saw sometimes I look at people in bum contracts or like in situations that they're in, and I just be like, that happened? They be like, yeah, man, such and such happened, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, dang, man, that's crazy. Like,
he was blessed.
I never had to deal with that. I never had to deal with that. Like, Red is one of the reasons why humility was like my best tool, and Prince and Pharaoh and just great, just people with great energy, man. And hip hop was love at that time.
Yeah.
Nobody was really
you went to a club, man. You showed love, like it was just love all the time, man. So the more love it was, Busta Rhymes, like Busta, like Busta showed love. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's just you never had a chance to see it any other way, like somebody trying to own you or somebody trying to do that. So I always was able to stay humble because it was just like it was always humble pie everybody was giving out.
Throughout your career, you created a lot of different relationships, right? So what do you think is the most important relationship to keep? Is it with DJs, producers, the artists, record labels,
Everyone. The same respect I have towards Salem from 300, and I don't see him a lot, is the same respect I have for Redman, and I've been with him my whole life.
Did you ever get a chance to meet Pop Smoke?
No, I haven't. That was a generation after. That was like probably 2 generations after my situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I that generation, no lie, it worries me because it comes with so much of truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to didn't like to listen to Welcome to the Party because it has so much of a message that wasn't for me, but I was afraid of it for my child and afraid of it for how my child recited it. that I always knew that in an environment that my children would be and they played it, something would happen.
That's true. I got you.
I always knew that. I always knew because, you got gun in the hip, gun of a, the way this world works. And this is why I say that we won't get any better, because we don't understand what we're doing. We don't, we have now a group of, a movement of music that really doesn't care about living. Right. They don't care about life. They don't care about life. They call it demon time. They're declaring it. Now, as a man speaks, so is he. We all read that scripture.
We just had that same conversation earlier today, bro. Like,
and also that you got the power of life and death in your tongue. Like, we got Lil
Lil
Uzi talking about all his friends is dead. All his friends is really dying. Like,
so I'm sitting here liking artists that are dying. I like King Von.
Right.
But I never really, you know what was crazy about King Von? He was rapping in that way too, but I liked him for the person he was. Even though that he had that thing that he was still saying, I still was like, Dad, this dude seemed like a cool little kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he got on there. You saw him talking to his fans, and he probably be shooting the shit, but you was just like, dang, there's something about that dude that I like. So it's unfortunate that those type of people don't get a chance to get whatever that's in them out of them, and then they grow to be leaders and have children and stuff like that. It's like, how is it that I'm like an artist now that are dying, and now my son is 6 years old, 7 years old, and he's going to be reciting to these dudes, and they're going to be dying. So that means that the possibility of him wanting to either be in a gang, wanting to not care, wanting to be on demon time because it's fabricated now and it's clout right now. Like, all of the stuff that he's reciting, he's either going to be in the environment to where, he'll have to watch his back, or he would have to. I don't know what, if he loves hip hop, what is he gonna really listen to?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree
if he loves hip hop, and nothing's wrong. I love the songs. I love Dior. I love that Dior.
Right.
I love that song. But there's something about that "Welcome to the Party." I used to be like, "Dag, I know
it was hot though. You can't lie. It was like, it was a banger, but then it was just a message you gave out. Unfortunately,
it was the message, gun in the hip, one of the fun. And I was like, and then my son, he ain't saying it. I don't know if he knows it or if he don't know it, but he's humming it. I'm sitting there like, okay, so what do I do now? Because it's not. What do I do? Stop the music and explain the song?
Right.
You can't really explain the song.
No. I agree. You can't. It's hard. Like, it's just like I watch my wife go ahead and create different beats, different tracks, and even other songs I hear my kids recite. I can't properly go. Cause I say they don't go ahead and not on all the Cardi B, but my daughter loves Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So we're backstage at the Rolling Loud tour, you know what I'm saying? And she's seeing Cardi B. She's watching the performances, but then I'm like, you can't do that, but then I'm giving you, so, you get kind of caught up in a sense out of that sometimes, but it's about
right now, my son plays Roblox, right? Roblox has a chat room on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
In this chat room, it goes down.
Yeah.
So, but my son loves Roblox. He loves Roblox. So, like, he told me something today, and that joint really hit me hard. I said, why do when I go and I tell you not to be in the chat room, why do you be in the chat room? And he was hesitant to say it, but then he said, because Daddy, I'm talking to my friends.
Right.
He said, I talk to my friends like you talking to your friends. And he's 6 years old. That joint hit me in my heart. That joint hit me behind my heart. it stung me. And I was just sitting there making him some breakfast, and I just said, Dad, and the way he said it, he was like, because Dad, I want to have friends like you have friends. Right, so in that chat room, I played Roblox, but some of my friends being there. So I had to have a real conversation. I said, so what do you do when the wrong stuff comes up? He said, when the wrong stuff comes up, he says, I don't look at it. He said, but I know it's wrong when I see it, because I know it's not. When I see it, I know it's wrong, so I don't look at it. Mm-hmm. I said, all right, but I have to let you know there's nothing wrong with you having friends like I have friends. And I said, and I know that you've been in this house quarantined and on a pandemic, so you haven't been able to been out, and you're down here in Atlanta, and he ain't really had no friends down here. But I was like, yo, I really need to trust the fact that if you see something up there don't look right, you know it's not right, and you don't pay attention to it. She said, Dad, I promise I will not look at something that's not right. If I see it and it don't look right, I'm not gonna know. But as I'm telling him, don't look at it, because you got to look at it to know it's not right.
Right.
I still have to instill in him that when you see it and it's not right, know it's not right. No,
you're right. No,
this is roadblocks. This is roadblocks.
No, I got you.
No, this is roadblocks. This is the game that all the kids are playing.
All the kids are playing. And then the one thing about it, my son plays it too, and it's just like I try to go ahead and keep them off of it as much as I can. But no matter what, they're gonna find their ways on it.
They're gonna find it.
I went ahead and blocked. Listen, I blocked YouTube. I blocked Roblox, Minecraft. I blocked so many different things. This girl found other ways to get around.
Yes.
If she went to Twitch to go ahead, she'd download the daggone video. Different ways, like same shit I would have done as a child too. Like
curiosity.
It's and you're gonna find your ways to find what you want or something to keep you, chill. You know what I mean? So, but it's crazy how the way the times turn, and then the same way you become your parents. It's crazy, bro.
Yes. My parents had an easier job though.
Oh yeah,
they had an easier job with.
I think so. Listen, ass whoopings. Listen, we're getting whipped with a switch. Everything like that was and straps. Everything like that was fine back in the day. You go ahead and hit your kid with a switch. We had one of my little. Who said that something last week? They were like, if I hit, my cousin from Jersey, they were down here. So I have my cousins down here from Jersey, right? And they came down right after Memorial Day weekend. So shout out to my cousin Gina, all of them. So my cousin was like, Mommy, if you hit me, I call police on you. She was like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild, but the whole thing
my
is
mother
like
beat me. My mother beat me so bad one time for forging a math paper, and the reason why she beat me the way she did is because she told me the next time you forge this paper, and this was like the 8th time I forged the paper.
Damn.
I kept messing up on the M. So the last time, the second to last time I forged the paper, I had my brother forge it. So he wrote the M right. So me and him got into an argument, and then all of a sudden he ain't forged my last paper. So I was forced to forge the last paper. Shit. When I forged the last paper, my math teacher said, Mr. Stenson, could you come here, please? I said, yeah. She said, why does this M look different from that M? And I was like, I don't know. She said, I'm calling your mother. All right?
He said, please don't call mommy. Don't call mommy. Don't call mommy. Don't call my mother.
She called my mother. And then next thing you know, my mother said, when I get home, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
My brother had a new girlfriend. My mother beat me so bad, I was holding on to my brother's new girlfriend's leg. That's how bad this beating was. I moved so much. I moved so much in this beating that I had a belt buckle wet on my face because I moved so much. Yeah. My mother said, stop moving.
That happened to me before.
When I kept grabbing the belt, the belt, she whooped me from one side, but I grabbed the belt trying to snatch it from her, and the belt hit me in the face. When the belt hit me in the face, she grabbed the switches and started wearing me out. But I'm holding on to my new brother's girlfriend's leg, and she's trying to whoop me under the chair. So my face is getting away. Everything. I went to sixth grade, IS 59, looking like a tiger. I looked so bad that the ladies called me in the dean's office. They said, "Is everything okay at home?" I was like, "Yeah, everything's okay." She said, "If you want to," she said, "if you want to, we can make a phone call for you." I looked at them real good,
no.
and I thought about that whooping. I said, "Nah, no."
Good.
And when I said it, I had a web here. I had an extra eyebrow under my eyebrow. I had a web here. I had a web here. I had a smiley face under this. I had a smiley face from where the switch curled right here. I did this all to myself. My mother didn't do this. I did this all to myself trying to run from her.
Yeah, that's because you should have stayed your ass still.
I should have stayed still. Always say, right? If I would have stayed still, all the marks would have been on my butt had I stayed still.
Right.
I was moving so much like, I had a web back here, Newkirk. I had a web here. Yeah. I had a web here. Yeah. I had a web here. Yeah. All of this was tiger. I was zebra over here. She was tearing me up.
I got one for you. I got a crazy one for you though. Real talk. So, when I was growing up, I was getting picked on this and that. So I'm a black and Arabian kid, what I'm saying? I'm half black, I'm half Arabian. So everybody assume I'm Spanish, I'm this, that, and another. So, when it kind of, I got beat up, that's all this other bullshit, jumped, all that bullshit. And then I went ahead and took some quarter bags, right? And I put sugar in the quarter bags. And I went to school with quarterback. So I got sugar in the quarter bags and shit. Don't know shit about cocaine. Don't know shit about. I could have put flour. You know what I mean? So I didn't know. Even though at the time, I ain't trying to put them on blast, but they was doing. The mom and dad was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They was on their hustle game. So, but when it came down to it, I went ahead and I found the drink. So I went to school and I was showing out to little kids like, yes, so this is what I got. They ran in and told, the principal. And the principal grabbed me and then he called my mom in. And at this time, she's trying to move away from the streets to business school. They pull her out of business school. Right. So from that, and then she brought my ass home, bro. I got the worst whooping of my life. I know you did. Do you remember? You remember the vacuums? You remember like the little small vacuums that had the hoses, and you put the hose together, and you pulled that thing around with you. Yeah. You remember all those metal hoses? Yeah. That's what my ass got beat with.
You got beat by Kirby.
I got beat by Kirby.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, she told my ass up, bruh. So, but I guess, in a sense, what I mean? You deserve, certain things that you do that, but if you don't know, and that's the whole thing, they had their thing that was going on, that they was doing in life, but they wanted to keep away from their children. So, while they're trying to keep that away from me, I'm still saying, nigga, like, hold on, bro. Listen, real talk. I see a dude just, they come to the crib, to the car, just talking to my mom, and they dropping like 10 G's in the car, like bloop. So it was just like, I knew what was going on when I was a kid, but it's just like, like, all right, well, you got money, so let me get some.
Sidebar, man. Sidebar. My mother had we wasn't in the house of luxury, but we bought things that we needed when we needed. Right. My mother was in a gospel choir, and she bought a radio to tape her church services, right? I mess around and take
over
the radio, put it in my bag, and I'm playing Chuck Chill Out and Pete Rock and Mr. Magic. So I'm on the train. I'm on the bus. I'm like top billing. This is what we say. Top billing. That's what we get. We got it good. So we all in the bus like this. Now, as I'm playing it, I'm scared to death because I'm in the back of the bus because I'm like, I got my mother's gospel sermon radio that she tapes her sermon with from church.
You didn't record nothing over it?
No, I didn't record nothing over it.
You was just playing. You was playing FM.
I got my own tape. I got my own cassette in there.
Cassette.
So
okay.
I take it when they go to work. I take the radio and I got it in my book bag. It's like MC, MI, people call me Milk. When I'm busting out, I'm in the back of the joint. So, yo, dude, I remember when I was in the cafeteria and I'm playing the music and niggas is jamming. And this big nigga from Hollis Crew came to me and said, yo, let me get that radio. I said,
oh, shit.
No, I said I could sit over there with you, with it. He said, yo, come sit. He said, come sit over the radio. I came, sat down, and then next thing you know, one of his mans came, and he said, yo, that's you playing the radio, little man? I said, yeah. He said, let me see that radio. He had that radio. He put one of his cassettes in there. That nigga put one of his cassettes in there, dog. When I tell you I had to cut 3 more classes to make sure that he didn't steal my radio. Yo, I was so scared. Yo, my stomach, I had to use the bathroom like 5 times. Dog.
Yeah, that's like giving you somebody your bike, nigga, and then you hoping they come back with your bike.
Steal my stereo. This nigga about to steal my radio, yo. I said, this nigga about to steal my radio. I had workshop the next class. I cut that class. I had writing shorthand the next class. Cut that class. I stayed with that nigga for the whole day like this. And when he was done, I said, yo, the batteries went dead. That's what saved my life. The batteries went dead. And when the batteries went dead, I said, yo, can I get my radio? Cause I ain't got no more batteries. He said, you got more batteries? I said, nah, man, I ain't got no more batteries. But the way I was looking at him, I had HE under this eye and LP under the other eye.
Really?
I was looking at him like, hey. I said, can you please give me back my radio, man? That's what my eyes were saying.
Yeah.
Please give me back my radio, man.
Yeah.
That nigga gave my radio back.
I was like, I'm out.
I tell you, I was so happy them batteries went out. When I got on that special at the end of the day, they said, yo, Rock, turn the radio on. I said, the batteries are dead. Not
they don't work ever again.
Nothing.
So throughout your career, you created a lot of relationships. What's one of the most? Oh, I think I asked you that, man. Throughout your career, throughout your career, you created a lot of relationships. You said everybody. You did say that.
Yeah, everybody.
Who's the best networker you know, and why did you choose that person?
Who's the best network person I know?
Networker, yeah.
Networker?
Yeah, would it be like a Red, a Meth? Would it be Eric Sermon? Would it be, you know what I mean?
They all are great in their way.
Would it be just somebody that we wouldn't expect?
I would just say the person that you do great work by is a great network. Because I work with Tashina Arnold right now, and we're looking at some stuff that we're doing, and it's a great relationship that I'm forming with her. But then I also still have my Redman relationship. I have my Buster relationship. You know, I have people that I've dealt with from labels, their relationships. It's like great relationships. I feel like the way you do your best work at is the best network.
All right. So as a producer of your stature, right? Like, well, right now you I don't know if you're married or not right now, but if you are or not, like, how would you know if a woman's there that's want to be there for you, not just who you are?
Well, I'm divorced now.
Okay. And
pretty much separated in our situation because we don't hate each other or nothing. We just lived life really early and had our children real early, and now, we just made a decision to not be, boring with each other. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, we just decided to live our lives a certain way. But I don't think a new woman could come into my life now, truthfully, because she is pretty much the the whole idea of what this is. So if
Right.
a woman that came along now, she I don't know how that would exist with what it is, with what me and her are, what we still are, and how it affects our children.
Right.
I like just raising my children and my grandchildren, and and we have a great relationship.
That's
You know what
amazing.
I'm saying? And I give her respect for that too, because she was around for a lot of the stuff that she was around for the good and the bad.
Right.
And we were young. Like, we had our children early. We had our children in the early 90s, and we were in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? So we lived that life, that whole thing, and now it's just like a mutual respect level of, she can have my last dime, I can have her last dime, and
Right.
we have 3 beautiful children, 3 beautiful grandchildren, and we just love life the way it is now. Ain't no drama nowhere. I have no drama.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any laws of attraction? Like, do you believe in laws? Do you believe in laws of attraction, that you put yourself out there in front of the right people, and the right people may, accept you the right way, or the way you present yourself is how other people are going to go ahead and perceive you? Do you have any right laws of attraction?
It's been that part of my career that was happening when I didn't know what was happening. Putting myself in the right environment, right people, being humble in every situation that I was in, but at the same time, always being attracted to what I love to do. It was happening. That was the law of attraction. That I was putting myself in, but it was also happening. And I always say to myself, I wish I would have read books to know that was happening, because I would have had a better respect towards what was going on. I think I would have probably stopped smoking weed.
Wow. Okay.
Because I would have loved to know, if I knew that was happening, I would have loved to have been as aware of what that frequency was.
All right, that's what's up, man. I really appreciate you again, my brother, man. Thank you so much, Rockwilder, man, for you being a part of this daggone experience right here. You know what I mean? I might have to go ahead and break this down into 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you went ahead and expressed a lot of knowledge and people that needs to notice. So I appreciate you again for coming through. I can't wait till you come down here in Miami. And then you come to the studio, you hear Strong Arm, on the complex, man. We got a gym over there. We got, studios over there. So when you come down to the complex, you know what I mean? So let me know. Other than that, bro, is there anything that you want to know about behind Backstage, or anything that you have been not been aware of? Anything, sir?
Oh, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I just appreciate y'all for having me. Like I said, every opportunity I get to express how grateful I am towards where I've been, it's always, I'm honored. I'm very honored. Humbled and honored.
That's what's up, bro.
We appreciate you chopping it up with us.
Appreciate you, Audacity.
Hold on, let me make sure I put Audacity on the camera, because I don't switch cameras like 13 times.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Oops,
Tell Mama Minister I said hi.
I will.
Okay.
All right, yo. I can't wait till you come back down, man. God bless you, bro.
Bless you, man. Bless all
one
of y'all.
more thing I did not ask you, and this is the last one, I promise, bro. You had your son on a beat machine, you know what I'm saying, and he was banging it out, bro. Like, I saw a little man, like, this is about like 2-3 years ago, you know what I mean, where he was on there like, He gonna be the next one to produce the next Kendrick joint.
He said he drawing.
Yeah, he's drawing now, yo.
Oh, he's drawing.
Artwork.
Oh, okay.
He does artwork, man. Let me just hold up someone. Let me represent on your show.
I was gonna ask you if that picture that was behind you, did he draw that?
Nah, he didn't draw that. You know what happened? I came outside one day out of the studio, and a guy was a fan, and he went and drew it. He went and drew it and brought it back with his kids. See that? This is my son right now.
Okay,
right.
That's awesome.
All right,
that's awesome.
That's 6 years old, man.
Yo, bro,
for real.
Yeah, I like that.
He got that.
That's awesome, man.
Look at this, yo.
Little man, bro, for real.